The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon. Weeknights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. On Fox Sports Radio. FS1.
Please me, baby.
One.
To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details.
Hawkeye Sports and Fox Sports. AM 800, KXIC Iowa City. Available everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Now #1 for podcasting.
And a good afternoon from Bob Pearl Field here in Iowa City. Game 3 of the series coming up. Hawkeyes and the Terrapins of Maryland. Yesterday it was a 2-win day for Maryland as they won the first contest 5-2 and the second one 2-0. Maryland now 29-12 on the year and 6-7 in the Big Ten. As the Hawkeyes 26-17 overall, 7-6 in the Big Ten Conference. Mark Montgomery is the head coach, 5th season for Maryland. As Renee Gillespie also in her 4th season at the helm for the Hawkeyes. And we will be underway at straight up 1 o'clock here on this Saturday afternoon. Bumped up because of weather coming in. Now it doesn't look like it might be here till early evening hours now, but they just want to be safe. Moved it up from the original 2 o'clock start time. Megan McCamey is the left fielder. She is standing in. As a ball outside, now another ball for ball 2. 2-0 the count. Is on the inside the circle for the Hawkeyes. Brianna Vasquez, 1.92 ERA, the 14-3 record for Vasquez. As a ball missing up and out for ball 3. 3-0 to McCamey. McCamey left on base in the first game yesterday. Had a hit, a walk, 3 at-bats in game 2 last night. There's ball 4 upstairs, shoulder high. McCamey hustled down to first. First base on balls here this afternoon. Hawkeyes trying to come back and get the finale win here this afternoon. 63 degrees, real and feel like temp, 69% humidity, and winds from the southwest at 9 miles per hour, going left to right. Flags are blowing steadily in right center field. There is a strike on the outside corner to Kylie Goff, the catcher here for Maryland. As Goff, 429 batter. 3 runs and 3 hits yesterday. 429 slugging average. There's a ball fouled up and out of play right side. And this time Vasquez getting ahead. 0-2. Runner on first. Nobody down here at the top of this first inning. You're listening to Iowa Hawkeye softball from Learfield here on AM 800 KXIC on this Saturday afternoon, the 15th day of April. Goff settles back in. Now the 2 pitch. Up and out. Good spot for the 0-2 for ball 1. 1-2 the count. Here to Goff. McCamey on first after the leadoff base on balls. Vasquez collecting herself, now back on the rubber inside the circle. Takes a look at the dugout for her sign. Takes a look at her left arm. With that instructions of what she wants to throw. Ball is swatted up and out of play left side. And the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes for this Maryland roster. 1 sophomore, 1 freshman, 4 juniors, 2 seniors in the starting lineup for Coach Montgomery. Courtney Weish will be inside the circle for Maryland. The Hawks will see. Runner on first, nobody down. The 1-2 on the way again from Vasquez. This one is sky deep left field, but foul territory. The left fielder getting over. Klosterman will put it away in foul ground for the out. So the F7 for out number 1, and it brings up Jada McFarland. Setting that offense for the Hawkeyes, Klosterman, Roman, and Carter left to right. It's Baines, Bennett, Streff, and Diaz across the infield. Doster's the catcher, and Vasquez the pitcher. 22 appearances. This is her 19th start. She has 6 complete games, 106 innings thrown coming in, giving up 35 runs, 76 hits, struck out 106, and walked 38. Here's a runner going, and going to be safe at first base on the throw down from Doster. Not in time, sliding in safely is McCamey. McFarland takes a ball on the first pitch of her at bat. Jada McFarland, the center fielder, 500 hitter in the series. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 triple, 1 run batted in yesterday. Left-handed batter, the third lady in this lineup for Maryland. There's a ball missing the zone. Low and away for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Runner on second with 1 away. This top of the first inning. The Hawks and the Terps this afternoon from Pearl Field. McFarland settles back in and ready. Vasquez pitched well outside that time for ball 3. And McFarland is way ahead. 3 balls and no strikes. Iowa baseball team playing up at Minnesota at Siebert Field today. They'll start their 3rd game at 3 o'clock as they split yesterday. Gophers took game 1 12-3. Hawkeyes won the nightcap last night 7-2 in Minneapolis. There's ball 4, second walk of the inning. Gives us runners on first and second with the cleanup girl standing in. The designated player, Sydney Lewis, for Maryland. First a meeting inside the circles. Doster visiting with Vasquez. Talking about the situation here, what they want to do with 1 out. And runners on first and second. No score in this one. We're in the top of the first inning. Maryland and Iowa. Terps have won 5 games in this series now with the 2 wins yesterday. Hawks trying to end that skid. And the pitch is swatted left side. Up and out for strike 1. 0-1 the count. Here to Sydney Lewis. .261 batter, 18 hits, 3 runs, 2 doubles, 13 runs batted in. This one is hit deep center field. Roman going back. She'll catch it on the run, throw it in. Runner tagging into third will slide in safely. Now the runner from first to second going to be thrown out. The 5-4 on the putout at second base. So the F7 and then a putout gets the Hawks out of it as Maryland not able to do anything after 2 walks in this top of the first inning. No score from Pearl Field. This is Hawkeye softball from Learfield.
iHeartRadio Earth is here with a new way to enjoy our beautiful planet. When exploring outdoor areas like local parks or a historic urban neighborhood this spring, be sure to recreate responsibly to protect yourself and the environment. Check the open status of a place before you visit, be respectful of others, and dispose of waste properly. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/Earth.
Help DEA keep our communities safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Takeback Day, April 22nd. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent drug misuse before it starts.
Trust and integrity. It's at the core of all we do at Davis Heating and Air. You need a company you can count on, so turn to us. For over 45 years, Davis Heating and Air has proudly served Johnson County. We're the company with integrity, servicing only what needs to be serviced. And when you do need a new AC, we'll expertly install and maintain your new Heil system. Get the advanced comfort of Heil. Contact us today. Davis Heating and Air, IC.com. Davis Heating and Air. We treat you fair.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Ricardo, quote, "This is one of the greatest inventions ever. I know this may sound like I'm exaggerating, but this sucker is amazing. The first time I did it, I couldn't believe what came out of my sinuses. I could breathe with ease. My wife just bought one too. Thank you for this product." Unquote. He's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Back into Pearl Field. They're underway in the bottom of the first inning. No score in this one. Maryland leaving one runner on the top of the first. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nice play to end it on the F8. Then a 5-4 putout as a runner tried to go from first to second. McFarland, after both runners tagged up, Cammie made it into third safely, but her teammate McFarland not as lucky. The Hawkeyes able to get out of it, leaving a Terp runner on. 3-0 the count here to Nia Carter, the Hawks right fielder. Settling back in, the lefty against the starter, Courtney Weish. 1-0 record for Weish. Tall right-hander slings a strike in there at the knees on the outside corner for strike one. 3 balls, 1 strike. Here to Nia Carter. Hawks will have Carter, Roman, Bennett, Baines, Diaz, Lecker, Klosterman, Doster, and Streff. The lineup for Coach Gillespie here this afternoon. Game 3 of the series against Maryland. This one is a little popper left side, halfway between home and third. The pop out to the third baseman, Jones, caught for out number 1. McCamey, McFarland, Schlotterbeck, left to right for Maryland. Jones, Woods, Liguori, and Leck across the infield. Goff is the catcher, and Weish inside the circle. 7 innings pitched yesterday for Courtney Weish. Maryland getting both of those wins, as I mentioned earlier. There's a strike on the inside corner, knee high for strike 1. Tatiana Roman standing in. Roman, .311 average yesterday. As a left-handed batter back in and ready. .304 average on the season, 42 hits, 24 runs in her second spot in the lineup position. A ball taken there. We're even. 1 ball and 1 strike. For Courtney Weiss, she's 13-6 on the year, 2.73 ERA. It's her 23rd game started. A little bouncer left side. Nice play by the shortstop. Played it off the hop. On the run, up and over, Woods to Leck. The 6-3 ground out to the shortstop for out number 2 as Roman is retired. And it brings up Tori Bennett now. The shortstop. One of 2 freshmen in the lineup, her and Streff, for Coach Gillespie and company. Bennett, .326 in the series. As this is a strike on the outside corner, I should say. Taken for strike 1, 0-1 the count. Here to Tori Bennett. Bennett, the 5'7" freshman. Former Fort Dodge Dodger, home of the Iowa Girls High School State Softball Tournament, of course. Swung on a foul ball near the plate for strike 2 there. 0-2 the count. Here to Tori Bennett. Hawkeye shortstop hitting in the 3rd position. .397 slugging percentage. .319 average on the year. 20 runs and 45 hits. For Bennett. This one is swatted into the net right side. And the count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Had a pop out and a ground out so far. Here in this bottom of the first. No score. The Hawks and the Terps of Maryland. Weather-altered series with 2 games yesterday instead of a single games Friday, Saturday, and Sunday here this weekend. There's a ball lined right side into the padded wall for a foul ball. The count remains 0-2. And the right-handed batter, Bennett, will get back in, ready for an 0-2 count again. Getting the sign, now looking down at her wristband. And Weish is ready. The 0-2, grounded left side. Woods had it, but bobbled it, took her eye off of it, trying to hurry to get that speedy runner, Bennett. And our first error of the game, the E6, I believe. We'll wait for the official scoring. And there it is, E6, first error of the game. Bennett reaches first and brings up Grace Baines now. Baines a 285 hitter, 37 hits, 19 runs scored. She's knocked in 22. Second on the team in that category. She's the cleanup hitter for the Hawkeyes. Runner started going. Here's a little popper into shallow right field. Schlotterbeck comes in and makes the catch. The fly out to the right fielder for out number 3. Takes us to the second inning. We are scoreless. This is Hawkeye Softball. You're listening to it from Learfield.
iHeart Podcasts is excited to welcome Jay Shetty to the iHeart family. Tune into On Purpose with Jay Shetty, the hit podcast where the former monk shares fascinating conversations with insightful people and investigates ways to live life today on purpose.
Try something new. When was the last time you did something for the first time with your partner? We're used to watching them do the same things, do the same activities. Let's see them do something fresh and new.
Listen to On Purpose with Jay Shetty on the iHeart Radio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, it's Jonas Knox. Our partner, TireRack.com. You know, fast, free shipping, free road hazard protection, tire decision guide, mobile installation. They test tires. They've got their own test track where they push tires to the limit. Want a quiet tire with great traction and a comfortable ride? Use their results to make an informed choice. They sell only the best, like the full line of Continental tires. Go to TireRack.com/sports to see for yourself. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
And we're back into Pearl Field here in Iowa City. Top of the second inning. Sammy Diaz will lead off the bottom of the second for the Hawks. This is Schlotterbeck, who skies out right side. Carter comes in and makes the catch. The F9 for out number 1. It's Trin Schlotterbeck with the first out here on the fly out to right field. Kayla Jones standing in now, third baseman. Jones from New Palestine, Indiana, a right-handed batter. Sixth lady in the lineup here for Coach Montgomery and company. Ball misses there off the plate outside for ball 1. 1-0 the count, 1 down. We're at the top of the second inning on this 63-degree Saturday afternoon here at Pearl Field. A foul ball, slow roller left side, chased and foul ground by Baines for strike 1. 1-1 the count. It's Maryland coming in with that 29-12 record, 6-7 in conference play. They're 6-6 in road contests. Hawkeyes 26-17, 2-5 here at Pearl Field. Big Ten, they're 7-6. There's a little blooper into shallow left field. Klosterman will get to it, but after it bounces on the grass, and our first hit of the game with 1 out here in the top of the second inning. So Jones didn't have to hit it too hard. Just found the right place in that triangle between Klosterman, Roman, and Bennett. Left, center, and the shortstop. And a runner on and 1 out. Here in this top of the second inning, we're scoreless at Pearl Field. And Amelia Leck, the first baseman, stands in now for Maryland. Takes a strike. 0-1 the count. Here to Leck. .298 hitter, 37 runs batted in. She leads the team in that column, hitting 7th in the order. A strike taken there for strike 2. Good start by Vasquez here in this. At bat to Leck. 0-2 the count, 1 down, runner on first. Taylor Ligori is the 8th batter in the on-deck circle. The 0-2 swung on and missed. Got a piece of it, I should say, but Doster hanging on to it on a pitch low and away. Leck swung over top of it for the swinging strikeout for out number 1, first strikeout of the game. For either side, gives us 2 down, runner on first, brings up Ligori. Taylor Ligori, a .276 hitter. The senior from Columbia, Maryland, went to Hammond High School. Takes a ball there, 1-0 the count. Here to Ligori. 0 for 4 yesterday was Ligori, number 8 batter. Here's a little popper into left field. That'll get down in front of Klosterman. And it'll be a 2-out single to left field. So runners on first and second with 2 down. Sammy Woods, the number 9 batter, will climb into the batter's box now. Woods a .260 hitter. 17 runs, 27 hits. She has 7 doubles and 11 runs batted in that number 9 position of the order here for Maryland. This one is grounded left side, right in front of Coach Montgomery in the third base coaching box. Hit that one hard, but foul. 4 strike 1. 0-1 the count. Runners on first and second with the top of the second inning. And scoreless in game 3 of this series. Hawkeyes trying to at least get 1 this afternoon of the series after losing both yesterday. Here's a ball hit to right center field. Diving catch. Nice job by Roman laying out for it and hanging on. And the F8, the fly out to the center fielder. Roman puts it away, and it ends the threat for the Terps here in the top of the second. We're scoreless to the bottom of the second half we go. This is Hawkeye softball from Learfield.
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor, every blank page is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with tools and expertise to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel V Pro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
Transform your deck with Menards. Pittsburgh Deck Cleaner removes dirt and mildew stains to restore your deck. Get a 2.5-gallon container for $14.99 after rebate. Complete your deck's makeover with Pittsburgh Stain and Sealant. It protects and highlights the natural beauty of wood. A gallon of ultra-advanced semi-transparent stain and sealant is $34.49 after 11% rebate. Good through April 16th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Bottom of the second underway. Sammy Diaz leading things off. Taking a ball, now a strike. 1-1 the count to Diaz. 5-6-7 for the Hawkeyes. Diaz, Lecker, and Klosterman here the last of the second with no score in this one. Hawkeyes ending the Maryland threat in the first 2 half innings for the Terps at the dish. And we're still scoreless. There's a ball up and out for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike to Diaz, the Hawkeyes' 5th batter. Hitting .268, 13 runs, 34 hits, 6 doubles, 2 home runs, and 18 runs batted in. And the 2-1 from Weish. After she gets her sign and collects herself, the pitch, and it's a strike on the outside corner at the knees. 4 strike 2, or even 2 balls and 2 strikes to Diaz, the junior from Cypress, California. Went to Cypress High School. 5'5", right-handed batter. And first baseman Diaz sprays this one right side out of play, and we stay even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Maryland has no runs, 2 hits, 1 error so far. Hawkeyes, no runs, no hits, and no errors. We're in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Nobody out as Diaz leading things off has a 2-2 count. Weish checking the first base dugout for her sign here from Coach Montgomery. The 2-2 on the way, and it's up and out for ball 3, and we're full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. One of our rare full counts here. Might be the only one so far, this one. 3-2 to Diaz. Denali Lecker waiting in the on-deck circle. Here in this bottom of inning number 2. The 3-2 on the way. Swung on and missed. A pitch up and out. Chased it and came up empty to Diaz for out number 1. Denali Lecker now stands in, the designated player. 254 average for Lecker. 11 runs, 33 hits. Leads the team in the home run department. Was 7, 32 runs batted in. Leads that category as well. Ball missing outside there for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Here to Lecker. Second batter in this bottom of the 2nd, the 6th hitter in the order for Coach Gillespie and the Hawkeyes. 1 out. In the 2nd inning, the 1-0 from Weish. Coming here. And it is a strike on the outside corner just above the knees. For strike 1, and we're even. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hawkeyes' 5-game win streak came to an end yesterday with those 2 losses to Maryland. They had beat Northwestern, Michigan State in that sweep last weekend in East Lansing, and beating Drake on Wednesday. Swing and a miss there for strike 2. 1-2 the count. Here to Lecker. Hawks have had 1 base runner so far. It was Bennett reaching on an error by the shortstop Woods in the bottom of the 1st. No hits so far against Weish for the Hawkeye offense. Lecker stands back in with a 1-2 count. The pitch on the way, and it's sprayed into the net right side. And will stay 1 ball and 2 strikes. Riley Klosterman waiting in the on-deck circle for the Hawkeyes in their black uniforms here today. Salute to service day today on this Saturday afternoon. Several members or service here were honored between the 1st and 2nd innings. There's a ball popped up and out of play right side. Also a make-up youth day. Had several youth players here and got to go out with their anthem buddies, stand by their positions during our national anthem here before the start of this one. 1-2 the count still to Lecker. No score in this one. We're at the bottom of the 2nd. This is Iowa softball on AM 800 KXIC. John Swisher, glad to have you along on this Saturday afternoon. There's a swing and a miss, and a pitch low and outside. As Lecker not able to get a piece of it, she goes down swinging for the 2nd strikeout off the right hand of Weish, and for out number 2. Bradley Klosterman now will dig in, the left-handed batter, the Hawks left fielder. Klosterman, the 5'5 junior from Iowa City Liberty High School, the North Liberty native, getting ready to face Weish. This one is swatted into left field. McCamey working way over on the run towards the foul line, makes the catch, and the F7 completes the 1-2-3 inning. We go to the third. We're still scoreless. This is Hawkeye softball from Learfield.
Iowans, you have dozens of betting options. Try a sports book built by bettors and run by bettors. Fred Doan started Betfred over 50 years ago with funds from a winning bet, and he's been known for delivering the best betting experience ever since. Visit betfredsports.com to give us a try. New customers betting $50 get 111 in Fred bets and up to 200 Fred bets per week for 5 weeks. Terms apply. Proud partner of the Iowa Cubs and Iowa Wild. Must be 21 plus. Wagers only accepted in Iowa. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Top of the third inning on the way here from Iowa City. Hawkeyes and the Terrapins of Maryland scoreless as we get to the third inning. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error for Maryland so far. Hawkeyes have zeros in their line totals. Maryland took both of those games yesterday 5-2 and 2-0. The Carter commenting yesterday, it wasn't their day, but ready to bounce back here today. She's been focusing on staying loose and having fun. Coaches are giving us all the tools to be successful, Carter says. Coach Gillespie, after the game yesterday, commented that both Bree and Jalen threw really well, but they need to figure out how to get the clutch hit when they have those runners on base. Maryland, a very solid team. And her team's ready to come out here and compete here today, which they've done. The first 2 innings were underway in the top of the third. So Megan McCamey will lead things off. She walked and was stranded on third her first time up in that first inning. Takes the ball outside and low there for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Here to McCamey. Left-handed batter, wearing the number 44. Takes the ball up and in for ball 2. 2-0 the count. Here to McCamey. The junior from Irvine, California, went to Beckman High School. And McCamey back in and ready. The 2-0 on the way from Vasquez, and it's a ball missing upstairs for ball 3. 3-0 the count. Here to McCamey, the leadoff batter here for Maryland. The 3-0 is outside for a strike on that outside corner, I should say, called by home plate umpire John Schaefer. Jason Smith is at first base today. Matt Jacks making the calls near third base. 3-1 on the way, and it's for strike 2. Belt high on that outside corner, and we're full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Great job by Vasquez battling back here after getting down 3-0. Top of the third inning, we're scoreless. Vasquez ready, the 3-2 on the way. Little chopper left side. Third baseman Baines gobbles it up, sends it over, and gets her girl. The 5-3 ground out. Off the bat of McCamey, Baines to Diaz. For the first out of here, the top of the third. Kylie Goff will stand in now. She flew out to left fielder Klosterman her first time up in that first inning. 1 out here in the top of the third. As Goff, 333 average, 36 hits, 33 runs, 13 runs batted in. 6 doubles and 1 triple. Strike there for strike 1. 0-1 the count to Kylie Goff, junior catcher from Lillington, North Carolina. To Harrison High School. Started at Purdue before she transferred here to Maryland this year. There's a ball upstairs. Chin high for ball 1. We're even. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 away. Top of the third inning. Still scoreless. Starting to light up a little bit here. Sun trying to make an appearance. Saw some sun earlier today here. Did rain just a tad earlier this morning here in the Iowa City area. There's a strike on that inside corner above the knees. Doster could not hang on to it, but gets the strike call from the home plate umpire, Mr. Schaefer, for strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Goff. Second batter in this order, and second batter in the top of the third here for Maryland. Terps are 6-7 in conference play. The Hawks coming in at 7-6. There's a pitch up and out for ball 2. We're even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here to Kylie Goff. Terps were able to strike first on a squeeze bunt in top of the second to take a 1-0 lead yesterday in game 1. There's a line shot, but going to be foul. Baines efforting at that one. Went overhead, sailed down the line. Rolls in the outfield corner as Klosterman chases it down, gets it back in for the foul ball. The count's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hawkeyes answered back yesterday that game 1 in the bottom of the first. Tristan Doster had an RBI single to tie the game. In the top of the third, the Hawks got 2 quick outs. Maryland rallied with 2 outs to plate 2 more runs to take a 3-1 lead. They end up winning that game 5-2. This one is hit hard down the left field side. It's going to be out of play. Back near the batting cages. Out of play. For that foul ball, the count remains 2-2. No home runs yet on the season for Kylie Goff. It's 2-2 the count. 1 down here in the first part of this third inning. Vasquez ready. The pitch is up and in for ball 3. We're full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Kylie Goff. 1 out here in the top of the third inning. Hawks had 2 runs and 7 hits yesterday in that first game. It's Maryland 5 runs and just 6 hits. Both teams had an error. 3-2 pitch, off-speed pitch, outer half. It's skied on the infield. The first baseman, Diaz, calls her teammate Streff off and makes the catch. The pop-out to the first baseman for out number 2. And it brings up Jada McFarland now. That second game yesterday, the Terps winning 2-0. They had 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. Hawkeyes, no runs, 2 hits, and no errors. McFarland laying off of that one and taking it for a ball outside for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Here to McFarland. She walked and was thrown out trying to get the second on a fly out to left center field in that first inning. 2 away here in the top of the third. Nobody on base. There's a slow grounder left side. Bennett has it up and over and just gets her girl. McFarland speeding down that line, able to gun it over there. Bennett gets the 6-3 ground out for out number 3. Takes us to the bottom of the third. We're still scoreless from Iowa City. You're listening to Hawkeye Softball from Learfield.
iHeart Podcasts is excited to welcome Jay Shetty to the iHeart family. Tune into On Purpose with Jay Shetty, the hit podcast where the former monk shares fascinating conversations with insightful people and investigates ways to live life today on purpose.
Try something new. When was the last time you did something for the first time with your partner? We're used to watching them do the same things, do the same activities. Let's see them do something fresh and new.
Listen to On Purpose with Jay Shetty on the iHeart Radio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
For the Hawks, bottom half of the third inning of 8-9-1. Doster, Streff, and Carter due up for the Hawkeyes. No score. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error for the Terps. No runs, no hits, and no errors for the Hawkeyes. Third and final game of the series. Maryland's won 5 in a row in this series, including both games yesterday. Tristan Doster will stand in. .341 batter 8 runs, 28 hits, 19 runs batted in. She's got 5 doubles and 2 home runs. .476 slugging percentage for Doster, the sophomore catcher from Fort Dodge. She lifts this one deep to left field, just shy of the warning track. McCamey staying with it and hauls it in. The long fly out. The F7 for out number 1. And it brings up Anna Streff now. So Doster able to put a charge into it, but not meant to be as McCamey back and makes the catch. 5 retired in a row here by Weish. The senior pitcher from Silver Spring, Maryland for the Terps. There's a ball upstairs to Anna Streff, the second baseman. Streff batting 219 coming in. 14 hits, 8 runs, 5 runs batted in. Swing and a miss. The 1-0 pitch there outside. Chased it, came up empty for strike 1. We're even. 1 ball and 1 strike to Streff. 5'6" freshman from Marion High School. Marion, Iowa, I should say. Went to Linn-Mar High School. 1-1 the count. Here to Streff. With 1 out. Bottom of the third. We're scoreless. The 1-1. Took a little off and it missed the plate. Inside off the plate for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here to Streff, the 9th batter in this lineup for the Hawkeyes. Second batter here in this bottom of the third. 1 out, nobody on. 2-0 is hit right side down the line, out of play. We're strike 2. We're even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here to Streff. Started 22 games so far in the season. 25 appearances in contests. The 2-2 on the way. Off the end of the bat. Fouled back into the net behind home plate. And we stay even at 2-2. Hawkeyes trying to improve that home record. So they picked up their 4th and 5th losses here at Pearl Field yesterday in the sweep for Maryland. 2-5 in the column for home games. 26-17 overall. The 2-2 on the way is a slow roller. A slow roller right at the edge of the circle. Weish gets there, fires to first, and Streff is retired in the 1-3 putout. Got out to the pitcher for out number 2. Nia Carter will stand in now, the Big Ten Player of the Week this week for her great performance last week. As Carter on that 6-game hitting streak, 467 average, 70 hits, 21 runs knocked in, 70 hits, 7 doubles, 1 triple. Takes the ball there, 1-0 the count to Carter. She popped out to the third baseman Jones, her first time up in that first inning. Bottom of the third, nobody on, 2 away. Both pitchers controlling the offenses. Weish a little more for the Hawkeyes. Hawkeyes have not had a hit, just 1 runner to reach base so far, as Weish has retired 6 in a row since that first inning when Bennett reached on an error. It's a ball outside the low for ball 2. 2-0 the count. Here to Nia Carter. Two balls, no strikes, 2 away. And the 2-0 on the way. Running look at that one on the box. Takes it for a strike at the knees. For strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike now. Here to Carter. The Rancho Cucamonga, California native, hit .667 in the 3-game series at Michigan State last weekend. Tallied 8 hits, 7 runs batted in, scored 3 runs. Lead the Hawks to that series sweep. This one is popped left side, foul territory, giving it chase with McCamey. Didn't have a chance to get there. But good effort. And we're stay even here. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Last Friday night, Carter went 4 for 5 with a double, had a career high 5 runs batted in. She recorded at least 2 hits in every game of the series. Leads the conference in batting average, and her 65 hits ever ranks second in the nation. There's another hit. Add that to the tally. Base hit right up the middle, and there goes the no-no for Weish. First Hawkeye hit of the afternoon. On a 2-2 pitch, up and out, got the hands extended, and drove it into center field. Did Nia Carter. So the 2-out single brings up Tatiana Roman now, the left-handed batter who grounded out to the shortstop Woods her first time at the dish. Runner on first, 2 down. Bottom of the 3rd inning with no score. There's a strike. Outer half. Roman looking at that one go by and takes it for strike 1. 0-1 the count here to Roman. 304 average. And the 0-1 on the way. This one is on the outside corner. Catches the corner for strike 2 as Roman took that one and is down now. No balls and 2 strikes with a runner on first. 2 away here in this last of the 3rd inning. Hawks have their first hit of the afternoon, the form of Carter moments ago, and their second runner to reach base. The first since the 1st inning. The 0-2 now, outside too far. Kind of a pitch out there as Goff getting up and looking down at first, where Carter didn't have that big of a lead. She got back as she saw Goff looking her direction. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Weish getting her side, looking at her wristband and ready. The 1-2 on the way. That's a chopper left side past the third baseman. Shortstop gets it and guns it to first. Woods to Leck on the 6-3 ground out for out number 3. Hawks leave a runner on. Get their first hit of the game, but we go to the 4th scoreless. This is Hawkeye softball from Learfield.
iHeart Podcasts is excited to welcome Jay Shetty to the iHeart family. Tune into On Purpose with Jay Shetty, the hit podcast where the former monk shares fascinating conversations with insightful people and investigates ways to live life today on purpose.
Try something new. When was the last time you did something for the first time with your partner? We're used to watching them do the same things, do the same activities. Let's see them do something fresh and new.
Listen to On Purpose with Jay Shetty on the iHeart Radio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Top of the 4th inning coming for Maryland. They'll have 4, 5, 6. Lewis, Schlotterbeck, and Jones due up. Hawkeyes in that bottom of the 3rd, getting their first hit of the game. But Nia Carter was stranded after a ground out by Roman. So no runs, 1 hit, 1 left on in that bottom of the 3rd for the Hawks. Line totals now, with the 4th inning approaching, no runs, 2 hits, 1 error for Maryland. Hawks have no runs, 1 hit, and no errors. Hawkeyes have stranded 2 runners on base, 3 left on so far for Maryland in the 1st and 2nd innings. First 1, 2, 3 inning for Vasquez in that 3rd inning is get ready to start the top of the 4th now. Sydney Lewis will dig in. She flew out to his center fielder Roman. A diving, excellent catch her last time up. 4, 5, 6, Lewis, Schlotterbeck, and Jones here for the Terps. Pops this one left side, going to be in the bleachers. To our left, from inside the press box view at Bob Pearl Field, on the 63-degree day in Iowa City. Game moved up an hour because of possible storms later on in the area. There's a line drive, right side. Carter coming in, one knee, able to haul it in. The line out L9 officially for out number 1. Lewis is retired. Good reaction by Carter, breaking on that one right away. She takes a bow, motioning toward her center fielder and left fielder as they were congratulating her on the nice play by Nia Carter. Talented outfielder, the senior, 5'1" in stature, from California, went to St. Paul High School, Rancho Cucamonga, California. Here's a ball to Schlotterbeck now. Trin Schlotterbeck. She flew out to Carter her first time up in that second inning. Stands in here with 1 out. Nobody on. Little popper near the plate. It's going to be in fair territory just ahead of the plate, and Doster able to haul it in. Not an easy catch for the catcher. Battling that wind. They're back towards the plate. On the third base side of the dish, she's able to make the catch, the P2 officially, pop out to the catcher for out number 2. And it brings up Michaela Jones now. 2 up and 2 down here in the top of the 4th inning. Maryland at 287 average coming into here this afternoon. Hawkeyes 292. No score yet in this one here in the top of the 4th. And 3 hits total, 2 for Maryland, 1 for the Hawks. Jones got 1 of 2 hits for Maryland so far. Came in that second inning, hit the left field, but was stranded after a strikeout and a flyout. Sandwiched the second hit of the inning. So they stranded 2. There's a strike in the outside corner for strike 2. And Vasquez is way ahead now. No balls, 2 strikes. 2 away here in the top of the 4th inning. Vasquez, the 0-2 on the way upstairs. Eye high for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Jones, the 6th batter in the lineup for Maryland, the 3rd hitter this inning for the Terps. The 1-2 on the way. Waiting back in the off-speed pitch, skying it right field. Carter backing up on it and making the catch. The F9 for out number 3 takes us to the bottom of the 4th. No score. This is Hawkeye softball from Learfield.
This is Coralville City Administrator Kelly Hayworth reminding you to shop and eat locally. Now, your favorite Coralville businesses offer more options for finding what you want for your home and family. Local restaurants, bakeries, and breweries have perfected carryout and delivery. Coralville shops continue excelling in personalized service. They take pride in helping you find the perfect item or gift for any occasion. Thank you for infusing Coralville with your shopping and dining dollars.
Bottom of the 4th coming up here for the Hawkeyes. 3, 4, 5. Bennett, Baines, and Diaz. Heart of the order for the Hawks, who have not scored yet. Neither team scoring here yet today. Bennett reached on an error. 1 of 2 Hawkeyes to get on base so far in this one. Bennett, Baines, and Diaz. 3, 4, 5 for the Hawks in the last of the 4th inning. Maryland, no runs, 2 hits, 1 error. Hawks with no runs, 1 hit, and no errors. Weish getting her sign and ready for the first pitch of the at-bat to Bennett. It's outside, gets past the catcher Goff for ball 1. 1-0 the count. It had been at the 319 batter. Reached after that error by the shortstop Woods and was stranded after a flyout by Baines, her first time up and only time up so far in that first inning. Ready for the 1-0 from Weish on the way. And it's skied into right field. Schlotterbeck going back, twisting, turning, playing that wind, and hauling it in. The F9 fly out to the right fielder for the first out. Hawks have flown out 4 times in this game. 1 pop out. 3 ground outs. 1 hit and 1 runner reaching on an error so far. They've struck out twice, swinging as well. 1 out, brings up Grace Baines. Takes a ball up and out for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Baines flew out to right. So Schlotterbeck, first time up in that first inning. Stands back in with a 1-0 count. Slams this one to the net on the foul ball for strike 1. We're even. 1 ball and 1 strike. Baines a .285 batter. 19 runs, 37 hits, 22 runs knocked in for Baines. As trying to hold up, did she go? The home plate umpire appealing, and the first base umpire, Jason Smith, says no, she held up. 2 balls and 1 strike. As Grace Baines yesterday, 3 bats, nothing doing in game 1. She walked once and scored a run yesterday. And we're even now, 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Baines. Flew out to right fielder first time up to end that first inning. Stands in here with 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of the 4th, we're scoreless. On salute to service day, this finale of the series, there's a swing and a miss. And Baines goes down swinging. 3rd Hawkeye strikeout, all the swinging variety. Out number 2 brings up Sammy Diaz now. Struck out swinging her first time up in that second inning. Stands in here with 2 away, bottom of the 4th. Fly out and a strikeout so far here in this inning for the Hawkeyes against Weish. As Diaz standing in and ready. Takes a swing on that one, off-speed pitch. Ahead of that one for strike 1. She swung and came up empty. 0-1 the count. Here to Diaz. Sammy, the .268 hitter, 18 runs batted in. The right-handed batter, ready. The 0-1 up and out for a ball. We're even. 1 ball, 1 strike to the 5'5 junior from Cypress, California. Two away here in this bottom of the 4th inning. Fifth batter in the order. Lines this one right side, out of play. And it counts 1 ball and 2 strikes. Baines back in and ready. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 away. Right-handed batter Diaz back in and ready. The 1-2 all the way outside. Ball 2. We're even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hawkeye softball this afternoon right here on AM 800. KXIC, Iowa City. John Swisher along with you from Pearl Field. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2 outs. Hawkeyes at the Terrapins of Maryland. Terps lead this series 2-0 after taking both games yesterday. And the game's moved to a doubleheader because of weather expected tomorrow. This game was moved up an hour. There was a hot shot left side down the line. Foul ball by Diaz. She'll be back in for a 2-2 count. Don't forget, Chicago Cubs baseball coming up later on tonight here from your home. Cubs baseball in the Iowa City area, AM 800 KXIC. Around 7:40 pregame. 8:10 the first pitch from L.A. The Cubs coming off a 8-2 win over the L.A. Dodgers last night. Game 2 of the series coming up tonight, of course, right here from the Cubs radio network with Pat, Ron, and Zach. There's a ball outside. We're full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here to Diaz. Our second full count of this game here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Weish, long look to the dugout. Now ready. 3-2 on the way. And it's popped up right side. Ligori, the second baseman, calls off her first baseman, Leck, and the pop out to the second baseman for out number 3. We go to the 5th. Still zeros in the run department on both sides of the scoreboard. This is Hawkeye Softball from Learfield.
iHeart Podcasts is excited to welcome Jay Shetty to the iHeart family. Tune into On Purpose with Jay Shetty, the hit podcast where the former monk shares fascinating conversations with insightful people and investigates ways to live life today on purpose.
Try something new. When was the last time you did something for the first time with your partner? We're used to watching them do the same things, do the same activities. Let's see them do something fresh and new.
Listen to On Purpose with Jay Shetty on the iHeart Radio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Top of the 5th inning coming up here. Hawkeyes and Terps still scoreless. For the Terrapins, it'll be 7-8-9. Leck, Ligori, and Woods face the Hawkeye senior pitcher, Brianna Vasquez. Was only allowed 2 hits. Stranded 3 runners on. Hawkeye defense has no errors in this game. The offense for Maryland has popped out twice. Had a line out. 3 flyouts. And 2 groundouts so far in this one, top of the 5th inning. As a left-handed batter standing in. And takes the ball outside, 1-0 the count. Mackenzie Greco, the .333 hitter. As Aberdeen, Maryland is her hometown. Went to Furman University last year. 5th-year senior here is Greco. Greco getting the pinch hit opportunity. 19 runs batted in, 2 home runs, 25 hits on the season. This one's lined left field, and it's going to bounce before Klosterman can get there. She'll get it in quickly, but not before a leadoff single by Greco, the pinch hitter. Greco gets the 3rd hit of the game for the Terps, leading off this top of the 5th inning with the hit to left, and brings up Taylor Ligori now. The second baseman for the Terps, who got a hit, 2-out single in the second. A little popper left side. What an effort by Baines, diving and able to make the catch, just laying out for that one. She was playing in. Thank goodness. Able to get to that one, diving before the fence line and making the catch in foul ground. The pop out for out number 1. What an effort by Grace Baines, the junior third baseman for the Hawkeyes from Kansas City, Kansas. Went to Piper College. The pride of Piper right there made an outstanding play. 1 out, 1 on. And a ball inside off the plate to Sammy Woods. Shortstop flew out to center. Her last time to Roman in the second. Stands in here with that 1 on and 1 down. Top of the 5th. No score here from Pearl Field. Hawkeyes and the Terrapins. This one is hit up in the air. Getting back there is Closerman, and she'll haul it in. The F7 for out number 2. Brings up the top of the order now. So Greco is still on first with 2 away. Megan McCamey now will stand in. McCamey grounded out to Baines at third her last time in the third. Walked and was stranded back in the first. First hitter of the game in that first inning. There's a Sean Bunt efforting at that one, coming up empty for strike one. 0-1 the count. This game an hour and 4 minutes old right now in the top of the 5th inning. Runner on first and 2 away. No score, no runs, 3 hits, 1 error for Maryland. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for the Hawks. The ball outside. For ball 1, we're even. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here to McCamey. 4th batter in this inning. Here for Maryland, we've had a hit, a pop out, and a fly out so far. And the 1-1 on the way. Big cut on a pitch up and out. Coming up empty for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to McCamey. 215 hitter, 26 runs, 26 hits. 7 runs batted in on the season for McCamey, the leadoff girl. Here for the Terps. Runner on first, 2 down. The 1-2 on the way from Vasquez. This is too high, and laying off that time was McCamey. Chin high for ball 2, we're even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. McCamey stepping out, getting her signs from head coach Mark Montgomery, Eastern Kentucky grad, 1992, 5th season here at Maryland. Swing and a miss, up and out. Got her to swing through it, and the strikeout ends the threat for Maryland. They leave another runner on. We go to the bottom half of the 5th. Still no score. Hawkeye softball from Learfield.
Spring is upon us at CorridorHalfOff.com. When we think spring, we think ice cream and Italian ice. You can get them for half off now at Earl's Chill and Grill in Marion and Gianna's Italian Beef in downtown Cedar Rapids. Both on sale now at quarter half off. And now that the temperatures are rising, it's time to get your 4-legged friends out for more and longer walks. Get them taken care of with leashes, treats, food, and more at Muddy Puppy Pet Market in Coralville. These deals are all on sale now at CorridorHalfOff.com.
Bottom of the 5th inning coming up. The Lecker, Klosterman, and Doster for the Hawkeyes. So 1 hit for the Hawkeye offense so far. They've left 2 runners on. No score here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Lecker struck out swinging back in the 2nd inning. The right-handed batter, Lecker, the 6th hitter in the order for the Hawkeyes. Trying to start something in this last of the 5th. Light breeze from the southwest, 63 degrees on this Saturday afternoon. 69% humidity. Here in Iowa City, first pitch from Weish. Brought the heat there, but lost control of it as inside bounced near the catcher for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Here to Lecker. Lecker stands back in and ready. Hawks just 2 runners on base so far. Bennett by an error back in the first. Carter, because of a hit in the third, a little off speed there. Jammed her. It goes right side foul territory. Gobbled up by Leck. The foul ball, strike 1, we're even. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here to Lecker. Bottom of the 5th inning. No score. Now the home plate umpire, John Schaefer, will walk all the way out, check that softball. Hands it back to Weish and says we're good to go. No runs, 3 hits, 1 error for Maryland. Hawks have no runs, 1 hit, and no errors. The 1-1 on the way. This one is skied in the shallow center. The shortstop going out, that's Woods. And she'll be able to make the catch for out number 1. Pop out by Lecker. Brings up Klosterman now. Briley Klosterman flew out to the left fielder, McCamey. Her first time up in that second inning. 1 away here in the last of the 5th. Weish shutting down these Hawkeyes here, as she did in that second game yesterday. 7 innings, 2 hits, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. She faced 26 batters. Did Courtney Weish. Ball, and now a strike to the outside corner at the knees to Briley Klosterman. And the count's even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Just 1 hit for the Hawks. Came back in that 3rd inning. 2-out single to center by Nia Carter. The 1-1 on the way is sprayed left side in the netting beyond the third base Hawkeye dugout. Chased down by the third baseman Jones. The count's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nobody on, 1 down. Here in this bottom of the 5th inning. Tristan Doster waiting in the on-deck circle for the Hawks. Her left-handed teammate Klosterman stands back in and is ready for the 1-2. It's on the way. It's outside low for ball 2. We're even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here to Briley Klosterman. 305 average. 18 hits, 19 runs scored, 3 home runs, 9 runs batted in. Klosterman back and ready. The 2-2 on the way. Swung and foul right side. Bounds off the facing of that first base Maryland dugout. And the count remains at 2-2. Klosterman flew out to left her first time up in that second inning. Five retired by Weish since that hit in the 3rd inning by Carter. The 2-2 on the way. This one's hit down the line, left field, going to get in foul territory, diving effort, and caught by McCamey. Nice diving grab by McCamey going to her right, just over the line. Would have been a foul ball if she wasn't able to hang on. She dove and able to corral that ball for out number 2. The fly out off the bat of Klosterman brings up Tristan Doster now, who flew out to McCamey in left, her last time in the 3rd. 2 away, bottom of the 5th. No score here from Iowa City. Pop out and a fly out so far for the Hawkeyes. There's a base hit into left field. It slithers into left field. McCamey will get it and toss it in, but not before a 2-out single off the bat of Tristan Doster. She's 1 for 2 today. As Doster, it's her 29th hit of the season. The 2-out variety brings up Anna Streff. 2 away, runner on first. Streff grounded out back to the pitcher Weischer last time in the 3rd. Fouls this one hard back in the netting, high above home plate. 4 strike 1, 0-1 the count. 2 hits now for the Hawkeyes offense on the day. And the 3rd runner to reach base. 2 via the hits and 1 with that error as Bennett reached back in the 1st. Weish ready, the 0-1 on the way. This one skied into deep right center field. Center fielder McFarland going back, makes the catch, but they're back towards center field, and the F8 for out number 3. Hawks leave a runner. We go to the 6th inning. Still no score. Hawkeye softball from Learfield.
With your choice of select sandwich, nugs, fries, and a drink, Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag is your go-to. Your nugget wingman. Your hot and crispy fried co-pilot.
Just like us. We're like the bag boys.
What?
Bag boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when we bring your food?
For a deal you can count on, bet on Biggie and choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Bag boys.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Includes choice of double-stacked JBC or crispy chicken sandwich with 4-piece nugs, junior fry, and small soft drink. Third-party delivery pricing may be higher.
Top of the 6th inning on the horizon here. No score from Pearl Field in Iowa City. No runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the Terps. Hawks have no runs, 2 hits, and no errors. Be 2-3-4 for Maryland in this top of the 6th. Goff, McFarland, and Lewis against Brianna Vasquez, who's done a nice job in her own right, giving up 3 hits, stranded 4 runners on. For Maryland, 1 in the first, 2 in the second, and 1 in the 5th. Just those 3 hits, 2 in the second, and 1 in the 5th. So Iowa Hawkeyes softball this afternoon here on AM 800 KXIC. From Learfield. Glad to have you along. John Swisher with you. As we get to begin the 6th inning. Iowa City Tire and Service is a proud supporter of Hawkeye softball. You can find them at 410 Kirkwood Avenue or online at ictire.com. Iowa City Tire, where service actually comes first. Hawkeye softball also brought to you by University of Iowa Healthcare, Iowa Corn. Great to have those fine sponsors on board here for Hawkeye softball. Strike there, foul ball by Goff. 0-1 the count. Here in this top of the 6th inning, Goff, McFarland, and Lewis due up for Maryland. There's a ball off the plate. Taking it is Goff for ball 1. We're even. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kylie Goff is 0 for 2. She flew out to Klosterman in left field back in the 1st. Pop out to Diaz at 1st. Her last time in the 3rd. 1-1 the count here. Starting this top of the 6th inning. Number 2 batter in this order for Maryland. She takes a pitch upstairs for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike to Kylie Goff. As Goff, junior, transfer from Purdue, from Lillington, North Carolina. Off-speed pitch misses outside for ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike to Kylie Goff. .333 average. 36 hits, 33 runs, 13 runs knocked in. Right-handed batter. Back in and ready. There is a ball missing. Up and in off the plate. Goff knew it. She takes the free pass. Only the 3rd one. The first since 2 given up by Vasquez in the 1st inning. So leadoff walk here in the top of the 6th. Goff is on first. McFarland will stand in out before a meeting inside the circle with Doster and Vasquez. Just them 2 talking the situation over here. The runner on first. Nobody down. Here in this top of the 6th inning. McFarland grounded out her last time in the 3rd. A ground out to the shortstop, Bennett. A walk in the 1st. Sydney Lewis waits in the on-deck circle. McFarland, all-conference player here from Orange Park, Florida. Oakleaf High School, the junior. Center fielder. And takes a strike. Got a lot of the plate that time to McFarland. She flipped the bat at it, but held off. and took it for strike one. 0-1 the count. Runner on first. Nobody down. Top of the sixth inning. No score. The 0-1 big swing on a pitch. Outer half. Came up empty for strike two. No balls. 2 strikes. To McFarland. Leads the team in average. 367. 25 runs batted in. Third in that column. She has 3 home runs of the 24 long balls on this team. 10 doubles, 3 triples. Takes this one helmet high up and gets away from the catcher, Doster. Off her mitt and bounds behind her. That'll allow Goff to go to second on the pass ball. McFarland will stand back in with a 1-2 count here. The runner on second. Third time they've had a runner on second here for Maryland in this game. There's a swing and a foul ball. Ricochets off the padded wall. Sends the ball to the first base side. Doster chased it down. And it stays 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runner on second. Nobody out here in this first part of the 6th inning. Maryland and Iowa tied at 0. This third game of the series. Hawkeyes trail the series 0-2. And there's another foul ball off the mitt and behind the backstop. Big cut at that one, and a higher pitch again to McFarland from Vasquez. Runner on second is Goff. She reached on a leadoff walk to start this top of the 6th inning. Left-handed batter ready. 1-2. Waits back on off-speed pitch. Just grounds it right side behind the first base coach, Emerald Uria, for Maryland. 1 ball, 2 strikes, runner on second. No outs here in this top of the 6th. McFarland walked to the first, grounded out to Bennett, her last time to the third. The 1-2 on the way, and swung and a foul ball again. Hot shot to the backstop. It rolls all the way off the ricochet, right back to Vasquez, halfway between the plate and the circle. Good battle here by McFarland, making Vasquez work with a runner on second, nobody down. The 1-2 on the way again. Waited back on the off speed. Another foul ball right side in front of the first base Maryland dugout. And the count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Second batter in this inning, Jana McFarland. Seen a lot of pitches here. Several foul balls. And the 1-2 all the way again. She gets this one fair right on the bag. Nice play by Diaz. Fielding that one and sat right down on the bag. Hit perfect spot as the 3-U ground out to the first baseman unassisted. If you're scoring along at home or wherever you might be on this now sunny afternoon, as the runner getting over to a third, Goff. Now, Mandy Gardner, the first-year head coach, pitching coach, out there to talk with Vasquez and Doster. With 1 out, runner on third. It's the go-ahead run. Only the second time in this game Maryland has had a runner on third base. So big situation here in the top of the 6th. No score in this one. Maryland trying to get in the run department first and take the series sweep here. Hawks trying to not let that happen with Sydney Lewis standing in. She lined out to the right fielder Carter her last time in the 4th. Flew out to Roman in center back in the 1st. Vasquez ready to go. The Iowa defense had a meeting near third base. Now they get to their positions on the infield. And we're ready to go with 1 out, runner on third base. Left-handed batter Sydney Lewis will stand in. Lewis, 13 runs batted in, 18 hits on the season, takes a ball in and down for ball one. 1-0 the count. Here to Lewis, 0 for 2 on the afternoon, trying to help her team out here and take the lead. The 1-0 on the way. Outside, too far for ball two. 2 balls and no strikes to Lewis. Trent Schlotterbeck is the batter in the on-deck circle for Maryland. 1 out and a runner on third. Left-handed batter Lewis, the cleanup hitter in this order for Maryland, back in and ready. A 2-0 count from Vasquez. The pitch on the way, and it's fouled back to the screen behind home plate for strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike to Lewis. The freshman from Prosper, Texas, went to Prosper High School. Designated player is Lewis. And she's back in and ready. 2 balls, 1 strike on the way. It's hit down the left field line. Going to be a foul ball. As Lewis missing by about 6 feet of cueing that one right on the foul line down the left field side. Goes for a foul ball, and it evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runner on third. Here at the top of the 6th. 1 out. 2-2 on the way. This one is skied deep infield. The center fielder coming all the way in makes a sliding catch behind the second base bag. Roman staying with it. It was a tough play for Bennett and Streff. They did not have a good angle on that. The center fielder had it the whole way and called it and took charge. Great effort. And the center fielder making the catch, a sliding catch right behind. I'm talking right behind the second base bag. Still goes as the F8 fly out to the center fielder, even though she was almost sitting on second base. Out number 2. Big out to get there. And Tim Schlotterbeck. Trent Schlotterbeck will stand in now with 2 outs. And a runner on third. Strike there, 0-1 the count. To Schlotterbeck, who's 0 for 2. Popped out to the catcher, Doster, last time of the 4th. Flied out to Carter and right. Her first time up back in the 2nd. Schlotterbeck, 272 hitter. 29 runs batted in. Takes a ball, we're even. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here to Schlotterbeck. 4th batter this inning. We've had a walk, a ground out to first, and a fly out to the center fielder, Roman. 1 ball, 1 strike, runner on third, 2 away. Top of the 6th inning. No score yet in this one. Trinity Schlotterbeck standing back in. Right-handed batter takes it up and out. Eye high that time for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Hawks with 9 regular season Big Ten games remaining after today. Minnesota, Rutgers, and Wisconsin, the 3-game series. Coming up, there's a ground ball, chopper left side. Behind the third base coaching box. Rolls all the way down the fence line left field, hustling over. Klosterman will get it. Throwing it back in. And 2-2 the count. Here to Schlotterbeck. Two away, runner on third. Hawks trying to prevent Maryland from taking the lead. First in this one, the 2-2, up and out. Lays off of it for ball 3. We're full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 away. No runs, 3 hits, 1 error for Maryland. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Hawkeyes. This game's 1 hour and 28 minutes old right now in the top of the 6th inning. Started at 1 o'clock, an hour earlier because of possible weather. There's a slow grounder deep in the hole at short. Bennett going to be a tough play, not able to get it there in time. It bounced and off the glove of Diaz, and Maryland will take the lead in this game. Goff will score. It's 1-0 Terps. Schlotterbeck able to hustle down there. Looked like the throw would have been in time, and because of that, we'll give the error there on the Hawkeye defense. That leads to the first run of the game for Maryland. Schlotterbeck able to put the ball in play, put the pressure on the defense, and it worked out for Maryland there as they have a 1-0 lead here in the top of the 6th with 2 outs and a runner on first. Cameron Davis is the pinch runner at first base. Wearing the number 12 is Cameron Davis, a sophomore from Menifee, California. Went to Paloma Valley High School. So 1 in, 1 on, 2 outs. A ball, now a strike to Michaela Jones. 1-1 the count to the third baseman who got a hit to left. Her first time up in the 2nd, flew out to right her last time in the 4th. Vasquez trying to battle through this and get out with only 1 run allowed. 1-0 Maryland lead. This one's grounded left side. Efforting by Baines, but foul territory. Rolls all the way down in the corner as Klosterman will get it back in after the foul ball for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 5th batter this inning for Maryland, Michaela Jones. We've had a walk, a ground out to the first baseman, a fly out to the center fielder just behind the second base bag, and an error. On a grounder to the shortstop. Jones ready. The 1-2 all the way. Ball on the inside corner at the knees. Froze Jones, and the strikeout ends the top of the 6th. But not before Maryland able to take the lead on the throwing error by the Hawkeye defense. 1-0 Maryland. Bottom of the 6th we go. This is Hawkeye softball from Learfield.
iHeart Podcasts is excited to welcome Jay Shetty to the iHeart family. Tune into On Purpose with Jay Shetty, the hit podcast where the former monk shares fascinating conversations with insightful people and investigates ways to live life today on purpose.
Try something new. When was the last time you did something for the first time with your partner? We're used to watching them do the same things, do the same activities. Let's see them do something fresh and new.
Listen to On Purpose with Jay Shetty on the iHeart Radio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Back in, bottom of the 6th inning here from Pearl Field in Iowa City. John Swisher along with you on AM 800 KXIC on this Saturday afternoon. Hawkeye softball from Learfield. Cameron Davis, who ran in the top of the 6th for Maryland, stays in the game and takes the place of Schlotterbeck. Goes into right field. Bottom of the 6th, top of the order, Nia Carter, Tatiana Roman, and Tori Bennett. 1, 2, 3 for the Hawkeyes. 1-0 Maryland. After a throwing error, scored Goff in that top of the 6th inning. A strike there. 0-1 the count to Carter. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error for Maryland. No runs, 2 hits, and 1 error for the Hawkeyes. A 1-0 lead, Maryland, bottom of the 6th. Carter slaps this one hard. Left side, right behind her on-deck teammate, Tatiana Roman. Thankfully, Roman will avoid that ball in their on-deck spot. No balls, 2 strikes. Here to Carter. Got a hit to center back in the 3rd. One of only 2 hits for the Hawkeye offense. Popped out to 3rd back in the 1st. And she Grounds this one left side. Foul territory. Jones gobbles it up for the foul ball, and the count remains 0-2 to Nia Carter. Carter, the 5'1 senior from California, back in, trying to get something going for the Hawkeye offense. Trying to at least tie it up here in the bottom of the sixth. And they're second to last at bat in regulation. There's a hot shot left side. Nice play by Jones from her knees. Throws it, and it's going to get past Leck, the first baseman, down the right field line. And into second base is Carter, as Davis had some trouble getting that ball and getting it in. Carter wasn't sure where the ball was, so she stayed put. So runner on second. Umpires are talking situation over here. Carter will go back to second. That's where she will be. So umpire Mr. Schaefer writing something down on his card now. So runner on second. That's the tying run at second base. After the second error of this inning and the second error by the Maryland defense of this game. E6. Nice job. E5, I should say. Nice job by the third baseman, but not able to get the throw in time for Carter. Roman now stands in with the runner on second. Roman has grounded out twice to the shortstop. There's a ball, misses up and out for ball one. 1-0 the count. Showing bunt, pulling back, taking it off the plate for ball one. 1-0 the count. Here to Tatiana Roman. Second batter here in this inning for the Hawks. Trying to tie it up at least. So they trail 1-0 in the bottom of the sixth. Showing bunt and gets a piece of that one, but fouls it left side of the dish. For strike one, we're even. 1 ball, 1 strike to Roman. Tatiana, 304 batter, 24 runs, 42 hits, 10 runs batted in. The left-handed batter, sophomore from Garden Grove, California. Started her college career at Alabama A&M. There's a little popper left side. The third baseman in foul territory will get to it and make the catch. Coming in on the bunt. Had to adjust, go back, and then get in foul ground, and able to haul that one in was Jones, the third baseman. Goes for a pop-up and out in foul territory. The P5 for out number 1. And it brings up Tori Bennett now. The right-handed batter who is flown out to right. Her last time, the fourth. Reached on an error in the first. Tori Bennett, 319 batter. Looking to help her team out here from her third position in the lineup. Waits back in the off-speed pitch. Skies it right side. Not going to be deep enough. Carter bluffs. And now she's able to get back on the bag. A sneak throw in right field to the shortstop. Davis almost tagged Carter out as she was just walking back to the bag. Thankfully, she got back in there after the fly out to the right fielder, the F9 for out number 2, and it brings up Grace Baines now. Baines struck out swinging her last time of the fourth. She's 0 for 2 as she flew out. To Schlotterbeck in right in the first. 2 outs, runner on second, bottom of the sixth, 1-0 Maryland with the lead. And there is a strike in the outside corner of the knees for strike one. 0-1 the count. Strike there. Now the 0-1 on the way. Low and outside for ball one. We're even. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here with 2 away. Baines set and ready. The 1-1 on the way. Hit into right field. Davis coming in and will put it away. The F9 for out number 3. 1 left on for the Hawks. As we go to the 7th, 1-0 Maryland. Hawkeye softball from Learfield.
This is Coralville Mayor Megan Foster. The city of Coralville was founded in 1873. Help us celebrate 150 years of building our community. Join the sesquicentennial celebration through October 2023. The city of Coralville will mark this milestone with activities, festivals, and events to celebrate our hometown's rich history, traditions, and diversity. Visit coralville.org/Coralville150 for more information about our rich history and bright future.
Some changes coming to us here in the top of the 7th inning. As for the Hawkeyes, a new third baseman as Avery Jackson, the freshman wearing the number 28, is taking the place of Baines. Jackson, 5'3" freshman from Kankakee, Illinois, Kankakee High School, in the game for Coach Gillespie and company now. And Mackenzie Grieco, for Maryland, is now the DP, as she will lead things off. The left-handed batter got a hit in that 5th inning. Greco, Ligori, and Woods. 7-8-9. Here in the top of the 7th inning. 1-0 Maryland with the lead. 1 run, 3 hits, 2 errors for the Terps. No runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the Hawkeyes. 0-1 the count on a strike taken in the outside corner there by Greco. Game's an hour and 41 minutes right now here at the top of this 7th inning. Ball upstairs, shoulder high. 4-1, we're even. 1 ball, 1 strike to Greco. In the 7th spot where Amelia Leck started the game. Left-handed batter back in and ready. Greco from Vasquez. There is a ball down and in for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike to Greco. Greco back in and ready for the 2-1. And there is a ball inside off the plate for ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike. Three and 1 the count here to Greco. 3-1 is on the outside corner. Thigh high for strike 2 or full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Three balls, 2 strikes. Pitch from Vasquez. Grounder right side into right field. Be a base hit for Greco, her 2nd hit of the game. 4th hit for the Maryland offense here this afternoon. And it brings up Taylor Ligori now. It's 1 for 2. A hit to left in the 2nd. Pop out to the 3rd baseman. Her last time in the 5th. Runner on first, nobody down. Here in this top of inning number 7. Vasquez ready. Showing bunt. It's going to be a foul ball. Hit the player in the batter's box, says the home plate umpire, John Schaefer, right on top of it. Right-handed batter, Ligori. Be back in and ready. The 0-1. Showing bunt, gets it down. 3rd baseman Jackson, they're going to try to go to 2nd, and overrunning the bag, going to 3rd and falling down is the runner, Greco. Greco lost track of where the ball was, I think. I'm not sure she wasn't expecting it, and she was safe. So it works out. Hawks get a break there as Jackson went to second instead of taking the for sure out. So the fielder's choice allows Ligori on first, but they're able to cut down Greco for one out. Greco is trying to stretch it to third, figuring it was going to be a throw out at first after the bunt by Ligori, but it's not the way things worked out. There is one out and a runner on first. It worked to the Hawks' advantage, despite Jackson trying to get the force out at second, not being able to at first try. Foul ball left side by Sammy Woods, number 9 batter standing in. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. Sammy Woods, freshman shortstop from Trabuco Canyon, California. Mission Viejo High School. Runner on first. 1 away. Top of the 7th inning. Hawks trail 1-0. There's a pitch inside off the plate for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike now. Here in this top of the 7th inning. Hawkeye softball this afternoon on KXIC. John Swisher, glad to have you along. Hawks will not return to action until Wednesday afternoon at 4 o'clock, taking on Western Illinois. The Leathernecks in Macomb, Illinois. Now the count's even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. In the weekend series at Minnesota. 6 o'clock Friday game, 1 o'clock Saturday, and noon on Sunday next weekend in Minneapolis for the Hawkeyes taking on the Golden Gophers. Runner on first, 1 down, 2 balls, 2 strikes to count from Vasquez to Woods. The 2-2 on the way, it's grounded left side. Shortstop Bennett's there, the 6-4, not able to get the double play. They get the force out of the runner Ligori at second as Woods is on first base after the second fielder's choice in this inning. So the shortstop to the second base force out for out number 2. And it brings up the top of the order, and Megan McCamey. 2 away here in the top of the 7th, runner on first. The pitch outside too far for a ball. 1-0 the count to McCamey, the 4th batter in this inning. She struck out back in the 5th. Grounded out in the 3rd, walked and was stranded way back in the 1st. Game an hour and 47 minutes old right now here at the top of the 7th. Maryland leading this contest 1-0. There's a grounder right side. Gobbling up his strap. She'll take the force out at second. 4-6 as the shortstop Bennett covering for out number 3. Last chance for the Hawkeyes. Can they force extra innings or win it here in the bottom of the 7th? They trail 1-0. We'll find out next. This is Hawkeye Softball from Learfield.
iHeart Podcasts is excited to welcome Jay Shetty to the iHeart family. Tune into On Purpose with Jay Shetty, the hit podcast where the former monk shares fascinating conversations with insightful people and investigates ways to live life today on purpose.
Try something new. When was the last time you did something for the first time with your partner? We're used to watching them do the same things, do the same activities. Let's see them do something fresh and new.
Listen to On Purpose with Jay Shetty on the iHeart Radio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to 4hims.com/joy. At Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation and discreet shipping if prescribed. You'll love your results. To start your free online visit, go to 4hims.com/joy. That's FORHIMS.com/JOY.
Bottom of the 7th inning is here from Pearl Field in Iowa City. Hawkeyes need at least 1 run to keep this game going and 2 to end it right here in the last of the 7th. It's a trail 1-0 to Maryland. Maryland on the verge of a sweep with the 2 wins yesterday. 1 run, 4 hits, 2 errors for the Terps. The Hawks have no runs, 3 hits, and 1 error. bottom of the seventh. Sammy Diaz will lead things off. 5-6-7. Diaz, Lecker, and Klosterman due up for Coach Gillespie and the Hawkeyes. Diaz is 0 for 2. Popped out her last time in the fourth. Struck out swinging back in the second. Takes the ball outside there off the plate for ball one. 1-0. The count here to Sammy Diaz. Hawks 3 hits, 4 runners left on in this game. 2 errors by the Maryland defense. Not helping enough. There's a grounder right on the line, down the line in front of the bag. Picking it up and stepping on the bag was Leck. The ground out. It looked like a fair ball, no doubt about it, from our angle here. And the home plate umpire, hearing from Coach Gillespie, he's going to talk to the first base umpire, Jason Smith. Matt Jacks from third coming over as well. Appears to be a 3U ground out to the first baseman right now. And I think they're going to stick with it, and they will. And it definitely looked, Coach Gillespie was trying. Maybe the umpires had a different angle and they could help him out and get a runner, batter back up there instead of 1 out, but not meant to be. 1 out it is on the ground out by Diaz, and it brings up Denali Lecker now. Nobody on, 1 down. Struck out and popped out 0 for 2 on the day for Lecker. She takes a strike. Strike 1 on 1 the count. Hawks trying to avoid the sweep here, but need a run to keep this game going. 2 runs to win it in exciting fashion. Game 1 hour and 50 minutes old right now. Here from Pearl Field on this now sunny but chilly 63-degree day. There's a base hit into center field. McFarland will play it off the bounce, not before a 1-out single by Lecker. So the Hawks have a chance here. See if they can put something together. As Klosterman will stand in. Bradley Klosterman 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts to left field in the second and in the fifth. Fourth hit of the day for the Hawks offense. So the Hawks will have Riley Moss running at first base. Moss, the 5'5 sophomore from Muscatine, Iowa, Muscatine High School. So Moss, the pinch runner for Denali Lecker at first base. There's a ball that gets away from the catcher, but gets to it right away. Does Goff. As Moss won't be able to go anywhere. Riley Moss, the runner at first base. The tying run at first with 1 out. It's Bradley Klosterman. Stand back in after a ball. 1-0 the count. Here to Klosterman. This bottom of the 7th inning. The left-handed batter, Klosterman, back in and ready. Weich's 1-0 pitch is outside, too far for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Here to Klosterman. Third batter in this bottom of the 7th inning, Klosterman. We've had a ground out to first, a hit to center, and now Klosterman standing in with a 2-0 count. Klosterman takes it downstairs, gets away from the catcher, Goff, on the wild pitch. And the tying run is at second base now, the former Riley Moss. Moss out at second. 1-0 Maryland. Now we're going to have time called. And assistant coach, pitching coach, Laura Heberling, in her first season, coming out to talk with just the pitcher and catcher, Weich and Goff here. The runner on second, 1 out, a 3-0 count to Briley Klosterman. Well, we didn't see much action all afternoon long. This crowd is getting their money's worth now. Hopefully the Hawks able to tie it up, if not just win it right here in this bottom of the 7th inning. 1-0 Maryland the lead. in the last of the 7th. The Hawks and the Terps, final game of this season series. Maryland has won 5 in a row in this series, including the 2 yesterday, 5-2 and 2-0. Runner on second, 1 down. Klosterman back in and ready. The 3-0 on the way. And it's up and in, ball 4. Runners on first and second with 1 away. And it brings up Tristan Doster. Now, Coach Montgomery will call time. And he'll come out and likely making a switch here as the new pitcher appears to be number 4. Kira Butcher. Booker, the new pitcher, Kira Booker. 2.27 ERA, 1-2 record, 23 appearances. This is her 24th. She has 11 saves on the season, so their save artist here coming in is Booker. As Kira Booker, freshman from San Diego, California, went to Mission Bay High School. Booker pitched 2/3 of an inning coming in that game 1. Only allowing 1 hit. And picking up the save for her 11th yesterday in that game 1 5-2 win for Maryland. She's trying to do it again here. A little different fashion as the Hawks are threatening with runners on first and second. Down 1-0, 1 out, bottom of the 7th inning. 4th batter of the inning here for Tristan Doster. Doster got a hit to left her last time in the 5th. Flew out to left, back in the 3rd. First and second, 1 down. Klosterman at first, Moss the pinch runner at second. Tying run at second, go ahead, winning run at first. Doster standing in. 1 for 2 on the afternoon. Booker gets it to ground left side is a foul ball just left of the line. Jones, the third baseman, playing it, but good call by home plate umpire John Schaefer. It just went to the left of the line at the last second, as Jones was trying to field it quickly and throw it over the first to ground out Doster, but not meant to be. It goes for a foul ball, strike 1. 0-1 the count. Here to Doster. Got that hit to left her last time in the 5th inning. 1 of 4 hits on the afternoon for the Hawks. Both teams have 4 hits now. There's a ball up and out. 4-1, we're even. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runners on first and second. Here in the last of the 7th inning. Doster, 341 average. 19 runs batted in, 28 hits on the season. Showing bunt. She'll pull back and hit this one in the center field, but McFarland gets to it. McFarland going to throw it in. The runner tagging second to third. And runners will be on first and third here after the fly out there to McFarland. Went back to her left, reaching up and snaring that one and denying Doster of an extra base hit. They're going to appeal second to see if the runner Moss left early, and the third base umpire Matt Jack says no. Moss able to tag up and get to third, so runners on first and third. And the 2 outs here. Anna Streff will stand in. The number 9 batter, 0 for 2. A ground out to the pitcher and a fly out to center her last time in the 5th. Stands in here against Booker. Booker going for her 12th save on the season. Hawks trying to at least tie it here with 2 outs at the bottom of the 7th. Swing and a miss on off-speed pitch there. Going to second, uncontested, will be Klosterman stealing that one to get in position. Never know, an extra base hit Good idea. Maryland just gave it to him. Not going to take the chance of throwing it down and have that ball get away and giving the Hawkeyes a tying run. But now, an extra base hit. A hit finds the gap. The Hawks could win this game. 1-0 Maryland the lead. 2 outs. There's a pitch off speed, but it's well outside for ball one. We're even. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. Here in this bottom of the 7th inning. Runners on second and third. The 5th batter in this inning. The most batters that the Hawks have had all game long. The offense has struggled. They do have 4 hits, but have stranded 4 runners on base in this contest. There's a hot shot. It eats up the third baseman. She's able to throw it and safe at first. Bounded off her shoulder. The Hawks have tied this game up. A hot shot by Streff, just putting the ball in play. Jones able to field it and throw it to first, but Streff was able to beat it out. Hawkeyes have tied it up at 1 in the bottom of the 7th and still have runners on first and third with 2 down. So we're going to give that the hit. Hot shot. 5th hit of the game here for the Hawks. So Moss scores the lone run of the game for the Hawks so far, ties it up at 1. Now meeting inside the circle with no coaches, just all infielders. And the battery for Maryland. So an RBI for Anna Streff on a absolutely scorcher to Jones at third. Klosterman to third. Streff is on first. 2 away. And one of the Hawkeyes' hottest hitters, one of the best hitters in the conference, Nia Carter, will stand in, trying to end this game, as it's exactly 2 hours old right now. Trying to end it in the bottom of the 7th. In comeback fashion. 1-1, we're tied. 1 run, 4 hits, 2 errors for Maryland. The Hawks have 1 run, 5 hits, 1 error. Well, to be able to get the walk-off here. Carter facing Booker. Denying her of her 12th save. And now Carter trying to get the win. There's a base hit, and there it is. The winning shot into left field. The Hawkeyes have come back and knocked off Maryland. The 2-1 win as Carter slices it into left field, and the Hawkeyes have won this game. An RBI for Nia Carter. She continues her hot-hitting ways. Klosterman comes in to score the winning run. 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning, and the Hawkeyes win this game by the score of 2-1. So the Hawks in walk-off fashion get the win on Service Appreciation Day. 2-1 the final in this one. Take a timeout. Our postgame starts next. Hawkeyes get the victory here this afternoon at Pearl Field to deny Maryland of the sweep. We're back after this. This is Hawkeye softball from Learfield.
Your joints are talking to you, right? They're saying, hey, something's not right. You didn't listen because you thought the pain would go away in a week or 2, but it's not going away.
Football legend Emmitt Smith knows you've got to listen to your body. Never ignore what it's telling you. And when it sends pain signals, don't wait. Get ahead. Stop it in its tracks with a visit to the nation's leader in joint pain relief.
That's QC Kinetics. Yeah, they are way ahead of the curve in this pain treatment business.
QC Kinetics says no to invasive surgeries and harsh drugs. They found a better, natural way to relief, using your body's own healing properties that you were born with. And it takes place same day, right in the office during your appointment. No surgeries and no downtime.
Before that pain goes next level, get ahead of it. Go see QC Kinetics. Stop it in its tracks.
Call QC Kinetics, 319-229-5155. That's 319-229-5155. 319-229-5155.
Okay, what do you all want to do this weekend? I want to go to the Iowa City area HBA Home and Garden Show.
I want to go somewhere super fun, like with the kids zone.
Well, I want to listen to some live music. I'm starting my own band, you know. I guess we're in agreement.
What?
You're both coming with me to the Iowa City area HBA Home and Garden Show.
Really?
Yep, they have an interactive kids zone, live music from the band Kick, plus tons of stuff for me to check out for our house. Plus, they have food truck wars. Check out the website, www.ichomeshow.com.
Yay!
Come Area HBA Home and Garden Show, sponsored by CDI Bank and Trust and Skogman Companies. April 21st through 23rd at the Johnson County Fairgrounds. Open Friday 5 to 8, Saturday 10 to 5, and Sunday noon to 5. Enjoy exhibits, food trucks, live music from the band Kick, and fun for kids. Tickets are $12 and work for all 3 days. Kids 12 and under are free. The Home and Garden Show at the Johnson County Fairgrounds. Fun for everyone.
Back into Pearl Field, the Hawkeyes get the win 2-1 this afternoon. What an effort coming back and getting it done. As the Hawks winning this one 2-1 in 2 hours and 2-minute ball game. They improved their record now to 27-17, 3-5 at home, and 8-6 in Big Ten play. Maryland drops to 6-7, 29-13 overall, 6-8 in the conference, 6-7 in road games. The Hawks get the victory here this afternoon. And walk-off fashion, Nia Carter getting the job done. The base hit to left, scoring Klosterman. And the 2-1 victory for the Hawkeyes on this Saturday afternoon. Take another timeout. Our postgame continues here from Learfield.
Bob and Tom Television presents the most exciting, action-packed reality show ever. Actual people riding in actual elevators. It's Elevator Talk.
Hey there, buddy. Hold the door. Hit the button. That's my floor. Don't take the stairs. You don't have to walk. It's time for the show. It's Elevator Talk.
It's Elevator Talk. This week's episode stars Craig Kitchen and Larry Morgan.
Hey, could you hit 7 for me there?
Yeah. 7? 7, yeah.
That's my foot.
Oh, sorry. Those are nice shoes.
Thanks. I need a shine now.
Don't take the stairs. You don't have to walk. That was the show. Elevator Talk.
It's Elevator Talk, only on Bob and Tom Television.
My early Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard to take, but it gave my mom and me more time to plan together.
Talk to your family about seeing a doctor. Go to alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
High, you feel different. But if you feel different, you drive different. So don't drive high. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Back in at Pearl Field here in Iowa City. Hawkeyes getting the walk-off win this afternoon, 2-1 over Maryland. So Hawks improved their record to 27-17 now here on this Saturday afternoon, avoiding the 3-game sweep to the hands of Maryland Terrapins. And the Hawkeyes get it done in dramatic fashion in that walk-off hit by Nia Carter. 2 runs, 6 hits, 1 error, 6 runners left on for the Hawkeyes. They struck out 3 times, all swinging, and had 1 walk as well. For Maryland, 1 run, 4 hits, 2 errors, as 6 runners left on, 3 strikeouts, 2 swinging, and 1 looking, and 3 walks. Game that took 2 hours and 2 minutes here this afternoon as the Hawkeyes get the win 2-1. They will return to action on Wednesday afternoon. Non-conference flavor taking on Western Illinois, Macomb, Illinois at 4 o'clock. Hawkeye players greeted by some of the servicemen here today, we're honored in our Salute to Service Day here at Pearl Field on this Saturday afternoon. The Hawks getting the 2-1 victory in that 5-game losing streak to Marion and avoid that sweep here after losing both games yesterday, 5-2 and 2-0. So again, the totals, Hawkeyes, those 2 runs on 6 hits, 1 error, stranded 6, struck out 3 times and walked once. For Maryland, 1 run, 4 hits, 2 errors, 6 runners left on, 3 strikeouts, 2 swinging, and 1 looking. 3 walks taken by the Maryland offense, but the Hawkeyes offense had the last say. Nia Carter coming through with that base hit to win it by the score of 2-1. So the Hawks have 9 games remaining in the Big Ten season. 3 at Minneapolis next weekend. They'll host Rutgers in late April here at Pearl Field, and then we'll travel to Madison, Wisconsin to take on the Badgers in early May before the Big Ten tournament in Champaign. As head coach Renee Gillespie making her way up here, as we will hear from Coach Gillespie. Brenda Vasquez, 7 innings pitch, as the loss for Schlotterbeck. Kara Bucher denied of her 12th save of the season, as the Hawkeyes get the win here by the score of 2-1 on that walk-off hit by Nia Carter. As Coach Gillespie making her way up here to the press box to talk this one over with me, as what an effort by her team here this afternoon. Is able to battle back and get this win. Coach Gillespie joining me now here, and what an effort by your team here this afternoon. Just perseverance, staying the course, not getting too down, keeping your emotions in check, and what do you know, a great ending to a nice Saturday afternoon, huh?
It was fantastic. Our girls definitely came out and they were prepared to play this game. Bree on the mound was just incredible. Coming back from yesterday's game and then being able to throw a full 7 innings for us was incredible for her to just be able to sustain that and keep us in the game. And just really proud of Nia. I mean, she went 3 for 4, I believe, and just really had the spark for the team this year. And you saw that big hit that she had at the end really made the difference.
No doubt about it. And what do you do as a coaching staff on the mental side of things to keep your kids not getting too frustrated, especially at the plate there when the offense was struggling most of the game until the later innings? You got to hit her so here and there, but how do you keep them in check and saying, hey, be patient, we'll be all right? Yeah, I mean that's Coach Levan, he does a great job with them as a hitting coach. He works with them on understanding, it's a process. Every at bat is going to be a new opportunity to be able to see the pitches again. Take your opportunities, and like at the end of the game, you saw the difference on being able to get on the pitcher and being able to make some adjustments throughout the game, and they do a really good job with that. We're a young team, and they're learning, and you're seeing every single game that we played this season as we go on, they're getting tougher and tougher with their at bats. No doubt, 3 hits in that 7th inning coming up big, and not just hitting the ball, putting pressure on the defense, making the defense do it. We saw Maryland do it to your defense a little bit there. That's so key in softball. It is. This game is challenging because it's never the same. Every time you go out, it's going to be different emotions, different feelings, different pitchers. You've got to be able to adjust quickly and be able to adapt to whatever conditions that bring to you on the field. And the girls are doing that. They've got the tenacity to stay in the game and stay tough throughout every inning. And on on the other side of things, great job by Brianna Vasquez settling down. She had a couple walks early on, but able to control that 7 innings pitch. Only gave up 4 hits and that 1 run for Brianna. What an effort by your young pitcher.
Yeah, she did an incredible job. I mean, you look at the number of pitches. I think she had like 130 yesterday, and then she put in another 105 today. Just being able to stay in there and pitch her game and not get too caught up on anything else. Knew her defense was behind her, but just incredible. 2 days. Even in yesterday's game, we were in it. We had mistakes, and that's what we need to do today. We just really focused on playing our game and eliminating the mistakes, and it seemed like it worked today. So, and I appreciate the military coming out. I mean, it gave us a spark. We had a great crowd today. The fans were incredible, and we just really appreciate all the men and women who have fought for us, and the Military Appreciation Day. It really brings a lot to us as players and appreciation for what they've done.
No doubt. Always great when we can honor and salute the service like it was here this afternoon. How big a momentum factor is this for your team, avoiding the sweep now and now getting ready for non-conference action on Wednesday at Macomb?
Yeah, it's just like you said, it's just getting prepared for each day. They need a couple days off. We've had a really tough road playing Wednesday up there at Drake and then come back for a Friday, Saturday, 3 games. Actually, looking at 4 games in 5 days. And so they need a break tomorrow and be able to come back and have a good game against Western. And, heading up, I believe we have Minnesota coming up next weekend, and they're going to be tough. They're playing really well. So it's that Wednesday game is kind of preparing us for that weekend up in Wisconsin.
All right. Congrats on the thrilling win here this afternoon. Best of luck to you and your team.
Thank you so much.
You betcha. Renee Gillespie, thanks for her time here this afternoon after the Hawks get the walk-off win. The final score 2-1 over Maryland, avoiding that sweep here this afternoon as the Hawkeyes improve their record to 27-17, 3-5 at home, and 8-6 in Big Ten competition. The Hawkeyes will move on to that non-conference tilt against Western Illinois at 4 o'clock in Macomb on Wednesday, and then we'll return to the Big Ten, taking on Minnesota at 6 o'clock on Friday, at 1 o'clock next Saturday afternoon, and noon next Sunday up in Minneapolis, taking on the Golden Gophers, who are playing some good softball, as you heard Coach Gillespie just mention. That's going to do it here this afternoon for Hawkeye softball on AM 800 KXIC. I want to thank all of our great sponsors of Hawkeye softball here after this 2-hour and 2-minute game. The Hawks get the walk-off win 2-1, as Hawkeye softball has been brought to you by University of Iowa Healthcare, Iowa City Tire, and Iowa Corn. We thank all of our great sponsors. Thank you for tuning in this afternoon for Iowa Hawkeye softball. Hawks get the win 2-1 over Maryland. From Bob Pearl Field in Iowa City, John Swisher saying so long for now. Have yourselves a good rest of your Saturday.
The following program is brought to you on public television thanks to a grant from the 9-Digit Corporation. For 20 years, the leader in power tool safety.
Cheap pieces. I am your host, Bart McAllister. Welcome to another exciting episode of this goddamned house. Assisting me today is my longtime friend, Sid Gurney.
Oh, Bart, this toolbox is kind of heavy.
Are you starting to sass me again, you limp-wristed littles? I oughta... Anyway, today we're going to learn how to build a deck. You know, Sid, every American family would love to have a deck, but most are too damn broke. So instead of paying some pinko, commie, rip-off little piece of... Why not build one yourself? It's simple, cheap, and anyone can do it. All you need is lumber and power tools. Right, Sid?
Well, it seems to me you ought to get a building permit, or at least make sure it's okay with your neighbors.
What the hell is wrong with you, you little panty-waisted Nancy boy? You like that? I learned that in Nam.
Really?
Tough to breathe, ain't it? Homo. Anyway, Sid, hand me that tape measure.
Okay.
You see, it's important to measure out just how big your deck's going to be. Because if you don't, you could be in a...
Hey, neighbor, what are you building? Oh, God, you shot neighbor Bill!
He asked for it by his meddling, Sid. Hand me that 2x4. You see, Sid...
Excuse me, I'm the building inspector. I got a call from a Mr. Gurney.
No one here by that name. Dead man.
Oh, my God, first neighbor Bill, now building inspector. Have you lost your mind, Bart?
Pussy-faced little turncoat. You ever felt the business end of a 2x4?
I haven't. Ouch!
That's how you build a deck. Tune in next time. And I turn our attention to plumbing. On this ready to meet Mr. Belt Sander Gurney?
We now join Fox Sports Radio, already in progress on 800 KXIC and available on your Amazon smart speakers just by saying, Alexa, play 800 KXIC on iHeartRadio.
You do understand, Sam, that this song was connected to a sponsor that I had for over a decade at my old LA station.
Really?
You do understand? You don't know that?
I didn't know that. I just wanted to rock a little Fat Boy Slim and some Bootsy Collins.
I can't sing it because obviously they're not a sponsor here on Fox Sports Radio. But yes, I actually sang to this song and made a certain sponsor legendary. By the way, once again, we are Fox Sports Saturday. Steve Harbin, Bucky Brooks, and we are live from the TireRack.com studios. All right, so let's get into some of these playoff series. Certainly no surprise, the Sixers, I probably will sweep the Nets. The Nets, if you don't know, the Nets no longer have Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. So they piled up a lot of wins early in the year to get into that 6 seed. Meanwhile, the Celtics, as a 2 seed, should have no problem with the Hawks. Off to an early lead in this game, up 17, by the way, 42-25. But we do have a couple of games coming up later on that should be some interesting series. One thing, Bucky, before we even get to the breakdown here, I wanted to get your reaction to DeMar DeRozan's daughter screaming when the Raptors were at the free throw line. They shot just 50%. By the way, she had to have security escort out of the arena after the game because there were online threats against this little girl. I kept thinking about all the people sitting around her as she was screaming. By the way, that's pretty good screaming for a kid. And I can, believe me, and you know, Bucky, because you've gone deaf sitting next to me. I have a really loud voice, and I can scream like you can't believe. But I'm surprised if they're going to allow that to happen. I'm surprised other teams don't designate someone to say, hey, if she can do it, anybody can do it. It is free season for screamers to drown out everybody else. What did you make of the whole I mean, it was unbelievable. What did you make of that situation?
I thought it was ridiculous that they were able to miss so many free throws. Now, the fact that she was screaming was something else because I was like, oh, man, that's a lot. But it worked and it was effective. And so at the end of the day, you're talking about free throws, shots, no defense, you basically in the basket. You need to be able to knock down the free throws regardless of who's screaming, who's yelling, what they're doing behind the basket, any of that. You should be able to knock the free throws down.
All right, I'm going to back up from the mic for a second here. Okay, so I'm going to get you a good scream. Ready? Okay. You can still hear me over here, right? Here we go.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Here we go. Here we go.
You know what, Hartman? I just made the free throw.
Now,
you didn't fake me at all.
Now, you see, I can really scream loud, and I was way off the mic on that one. So maybe, if there's an NBA team that is willing to give me courtside seats so I could be their designated screamer, I'm here to be hired. I'm telling you. I will rattle them every single time. If the NBA may have to step in and say, do we really want this to happen? It's a little girl. But anyway, so she's back at school. Of course, her dad's team got eliminated in Miami in the next round. All right, so let's break this down right now. We got the Knicks and the Cavs. Mm-hmm. And, when we talk about MVP candidates, and, of course, they've already announced the 3 finalists, same as last year, Jokic, Embiid, and Giannis. Donovan Mitchell and the impact he's had on this Cavaliers. You remember how bad the Cavs were just a couple of years ago? Now they have all this young talent, and then you have the infusion of a guy like Donovan Mitchell, who averaged 28 points a game. I mean, actually, the way the MVP ballot bears out. There's 5 spots on it. I don't know if I don't include Donovan Mitchell on that list because he had that kind of impact, I think, on the Cavs this year.
He certainly had a great impact. And this was a team that was on the come last season. What they were doing with the 2 bigs, what J.B. Bickerstaff has done to kind of, I guess, not only repair the organization, rebuild the culture, establish the culture, get them back to winning. They deserve it. But, yeah, Spidey is going to get his fair share of the credit because he came over in a blockbuster trade. They are sitting right where they need to be in the thick of the playoff race, and they have a team in the New York Knicks that, look, this, not saying this is, I think this is a fairly even series, but this is one where they can put a feather in their cap to be able to pull this off.
Yeah, Jalen Brunson, another guy. It just has tremendous value for this Knicks team. Obviously they have Randall as well, a couple of guys that can score. I just think ultimately the winner of this series, we're going to look at Brunson and we're going to look at Mitchell. Who had a better series? Your star players have to step up in these series. I agree with you. I think this is a very even matchup. And then we got the game later on between the Warriors and the Kings. There has never been a playoff series, according to the odds makers, where a 6 seed was as prohibitive a favorite over a 3 seed as the Warriors are over the Kings. But my question is, why? The Warriors this year, on the road, had a record of 11-30. 11-30 on the road, and obviously the Kings have the home court advantage. So when we look at Fox, and we look at Sabonis, you look at these young stars going against the grizzled veterans that are the Warriors, which way are you leaning in this series?
I think you naturally have to lean to the Warriors because they're the defending champs. They have the experience that makes it different. These games change. No matter what people tell you about regular season and postseason play, there is a change. The urgency, the importance of every possession. That's why you see guys play the way that they play. Turnovers, compounding those things, getting easy layups, which is why there used to be a no layup rule enacted by the Detroit Pistons back in the bad boy era. So it's just a different game. And so when I look at that and I think about all those things, is Sacramento going to be ready for that? They haven't had enough wars to kind of get themselves ready for that. And the fact that you're the Warriors and you already know how to win the championship, you've done it from a few different spots. Yeah, that confidence makes them very difficult to contend with, very difficult to knock out.
Think about this. The last 6 times the Warriors were in the playoffs. Now, one year they were eliminated in the play-in round, but the last 6 times they've been in the playoffs, they made it to the NBA Finals. That's a pretty good run. I mean, last year...
that's a great run. That's a lot of experience.
That's a lot. And last year was a prime example. I'm glad you mentioned that idea that the playoffs are a different beast. Why do you believe, Bucky, when you look at this kind of match? I mean, a similar thing with the Lakers and the Grizzlies, where you're looking at veterans, guys that have been there versus younger legs. It would seem like, hey, young legs, especially over a 7-game series, would prevail. But why is experience such a factor, in your opinion, when it comes to the playoffs?
Experience is a factor because the experienced guys understand, one, the intensity, the urgency that is required to win a playoff game. Because if you've had your heart broken before, you know that every possession matters in these games. So you can't throw away possessions. You can't just give them away because every point counts in these situations. 2, the physicality and the urgency, a lot of that comes from just knowing this is it. We have to muddy up the game to make it one where we can win. So we're going to make sure that everybody has to earn every point that they get. No layups, no easies, challenge everything, make them shoot over high hands. All those things are in play. And so that's why you see some of the ugly stuff that we've seen in the last couple of playoffs in terms of teams' inability to put points on the board.
And by the way, that's true of any sport. And not only, I've said this many times about the NHL playoffs, that it's not just the intensity is different or experience counts. It's not even the same game. Like they play a different brand of hockey in the postseason than they do in the regular season. Obviously, played in the NFL. I mean, is there something to be said on even how you play the game is different when you're in the postseason?
A little bit. Everyone puts a little more time on tasks. Everyone is asked to do a little extra, more time on the practice field, more time in the film room. Coaches are digging through, sorting through stuff, making sure that preparation is not an issue. And because you're so dialed into the game plan, you either get after it and have like a tremendous game because your focus allows you to kind of see and anticipate what's about to happen, or you're floundering because you never catch your breath. You never get yourself in a point where you can be trusted to go in there and execute it. So a lot of the situation when it comes to young guys, can you be trusted? Can you come through and do the things that you're supposed to do when everyone in the building knows that you're supposed to do those things?
All right, we're going to get
playoffs.
We're going to get into that Lakers series coming up against the Grizzlies on the other side. But first, a reminder, we're brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com. Let's find out what is trending right now. And, well, guess who's here? Monty is here, and the biggest story that came out with Jonas was your mother's situation with cars parked in front of the driveway. So she had, tow trucks everywhere. She called them off.
Yeah, she was.
But really, that's because of you.
No, I wanted her to tow the car. She's too nice of a person.
Right.
And decided not to. Bucky, somebody parked in front of my parents' driveway, completely blocking their garage. They live in a neighborhood across the street from a park, and on the weekends during baseball season, there's a lot of families that come, and there's 3 different fields, so there's a lot of action. But there's parking. People are just lazy. And they parked right in front, and I told my mom, Mommy, call the sheriff right now. And they came, and then she called me, and she was like, I didn't have the heart to get the car towed, so I told them to stop, but I asked them to just leave them a really fat ticket. So...
And by the way, it wasn't any car. It was a giant van.
It was a giant van. Right. It just was like, it's just so, like, the audacity. The audacity. If I was at my parents' house, I would be waiting by that car right now. I would just be waiting for them so I could chit-chat and have a little chit-chat about what's acceptable and what is not. But she is much nicer than me. So
why do I get a sense Bucky would have handled that differently?
I would have had him towed.
Right?
I would have got him up out the paint.
Right. My mom said that she was like, I just thought of the kids coming back to the car with all their baseball gear, and then their car's not there. And I was like, well, the parents should be responsible.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I understand.
That's on the parents.
I know. Yeah. But my mom is a nicer woman than I am. Yeah. That is for sure. No questions asked. Game 1 between the Hawks and the Celtics is going, and it's all Boston. I called this to be the one series that could be a sweep in the first round. I thought Boston had the possibility of sweeping the Atlanta Hawks, and right now they're up 59-32 with 4 minutes to go in the first half. Jason Tatum leading all scorers. He's got 18 points and 5 rebounds so far in the game. And for the Philadelphia 76ers and the Brooklyn Nets, it was Philly who came out on top. 121-101 was the final score. 76ers hit 21 out of 43 three-pointers. James Harden hit 7 of those three-pointers, and Doc Rivers had nothing but nice things to say.
James, I thought, one of his best games at being, a catcher, where he's calling the perfect game.
He ended with a double-double, 23 points and 13 assists. MVP candidate Joel Embiid ended with 26 points and 5 rebounds. In Major League Baseball, Orioles right now have taken the lead over the White Sox 5-4, bottom of the 7th. The Pirates and the Cardinals are tied. They're about to start the 9th inning in St. Louis, tied at 3 apiece. Blue Jays, who snapped the Rays' winning streak yesterday, they did not break the record and win 14 in a row. No, they lost. So the Blue Jays right now are beating the Rays again, 3-1, bottom of the 5th inning. Brewers and Padres tied bottom of the 1st at 2 apiece. A's up on the Mets 1-0, bottom of the 2nd. The Angels beating the Red Sox 4-2, bottom of the 1st. A lot of scoring nowadays, and I love it. Diamondbacks up on the Marlins 1-0, bottom of the 1st. The Giants were beating the Tigers by 5 runs, and then the Tigers rallied, came out on top in 10 innings. 7-6 was the final score. The Yankees outscored the Twins 6-1. Pitcher Domingo Germán retired his first 16 batters for New York, and the manager of the Twins was ejected because they were looking at Herman's hands for like a really long time. And there's a video where the umpire is like telling him, and you could read that he tells him, you have to wash your hands. But we couldn't tell anything else, what else he was saying. And then after the lengthy conversation, the Twins manager, Rocco Baldelli, I think is his name, he went out there. He got mad because he was like, you could tell he was like, if you are looking at his hands for so long, then something is wrong. Why are you letting him go back in the game? And then he got ejected, and the Yankees won 6-1. Back to you guys.
All right, Monty. I love your mom. I don't even know your mom. I love your mom.
I know.
You know,
Sweet woman.
Sweet woman indeed. All right, let's. By the way, you mentioned that you think the Celtics could sweep the Hawks.
Yes.
The Hawks may just bail out of this series right now. Yeah. I mean, this is. This is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, 59-32 with 4 minutes to go still in the first half. So the Hawks showing absolutely no resistance. I'll tell you another series that may go 4 straight. I think the Suns could sweep the Clippers.
No, why? Why would you say that? Don't put that in the universe.
Because I'm telling you, Monty, first of all, the Suns, and Bucky, you know this, they have not lost a game with Kevin Durant in the lineup. Only 8 games, not much of a sample size, but he's ready to go. But this Clippers team, PG is out until his knee is 100%.
Yes.
So if it's 99%, he ain't playing. I mean, that was I reported this in LA TV last night. Yeah, he'll be back when he's 100%. Looking back to that knee injury, he's not going to be 100%. I just, again, this is a dysfunctional organization. Bucky, what do you think of Doc Rivers? Every time I hear Doc, I'm twofold on Doc Rivers. When he was the coach of the Clippers, if you wonder why this guy is so popular, the media, if you're a media member, you fall in love with Doc Rivers from day one because he answers all the questions, he engages, he does everything you would want if you're a member of the media, and in return, they treat him nicely. But when you look at all the teams that he has, especially with the Clippers, that absolutely collapsed in the postseason, and then for him to claim that, well, they didn't have really, really a lot of chemistry, they didn't have a lot of camaraderie on those teams. I'm like, I'm sorry. Isn't that your job as the coach to bring the team together? I'm not a Doc Rivers guy. I'm just not. I mean, he's a super nice guy and a great guy to deal with. But in terms of being a top level coach, I don't see it. I don't.
Well, I mean, it wasn't the greatest look, but I actually appreciated the honesty and the transparency. We all wondered in L.A., what was wrong with this Clippers team? This Clippers team is as talented as any in the National Basketball Association, but they couldn't get over the hump. And they did it with different pieces and different parts and still couldn't figure it out. And so when he finally revealed that, the team didn't really get along. They didn't like each other. Hard to win a title when you don't like each other.
A lot of teams that don't get along have won titles over the years.
But you got to have chemistry, though, man. You have to have the chemistry and the connectivity. They weren't connected.
Well, whose fault? Is that Chris Paul's fault because he was the point guard? Remember, I mean, you already had DeAndre Jordan, you had Blake Griffin, right? And all of a sudden, here comes Chris Paul, if not the best point guard on a very short list of best point guards in the NBA at the time. Is that, to me, it sounds like he's blaming Chris Paul.
I don't know if he's necessarily blaming Chris Paul, but I will say this. That locker room was, man, it was always something.
Yeah.
Always something like just extra. And sometimes when you are the leader and you have a prickly personality, yeah, you get all the blowback. And maybe it was time to get some of that blowback. I don't know, but it just seems like with Chris Paul and with this team and with him and Blake Griffin's relationship not appearing to be solid at all, some of the other players, they just mismanaged what they had. They had a lottery ticket and just didn't cash it in.
All right, so a lot of people are assuming that once you get to the postseason, you flip a switch and boom, you're ready to go, especially these veterans teams with Phoenix or with Golden State. And a lot of people are thinking the exact same thing with the Lakers. They open up their series tomorrow against the Memphis Grizzlies. So before we get to the Lakers, let's talk about 2 big problems for the Lakers when they face this Grizzlies team. Let's talk with Jaren Jackson, who probably is the defensive player of the year. He was announced one of the finalists. If you haven't seen him in action, he's as big as Anthony Davis. He's younger than Anthony Davis. In many ways, he's Anthony Davis's worst nightmare. But then the bigger nightmare is Ja Morant. Because when you don't have anybody to protect the rim, and obviously the Lakers don't because it's been layup city against their non-defense pretty much all season long. And I know some people say, well, if you look at their defensive numbers, they're better than you think. I'm going eyeball test. Because when teams are aggressive going to the hoop against the Lakers, there seems to be little resistance. And Ja Morant is as good as any player in this league from the perimeter that can drive and get his shots inside. So let's talk about AD versus Jackson. How do you see that matchup going?
Man, this is tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. I mean, I like AD. I think AD's the guy. I think AD just has to kind of do his thing. He has to be one of the best players. He has to be a top 20 player. He has that. He can do it.
He can do it.
He can do it.
Well, he has to be aggressive.
He has to be aggressive. He has to get it. Now, if you can be honest, they have to run the offense through him and not through the king. When they run it through him, then he's going to be engaged because he's going to have a lot of touches. He'll probably get bumped and bruised a little bit. That'll put him on the foul line. That'll help him get his rhythm. If he gets his rhythm, no one's better than him.
Darvin Ham, I've said this many times. I am impressed with the man. I'm not impressed with him as a coach. He has done things over the course of his first year as a head coach, and it's a learning process. Doesn't matter how many years you played in the league or an assistant in the league. When you become a head coach, you got to make decisions out there. And I think, unfortunately, the Lakers are where they are right now, barely sneaking into the playoffs because of some of the things that Darvin Ham has yet to learn as a head coach and managing a team. But what do you think their plan of attack is with Ja Morant? Do you just concede? Because this kid already in a small sample size in the postseason has shown that as good as he is in the regular season, he could be better in the postseason. And that suspension, I think in a lot of ways, only ignited him to go next level. I expect him to be on fire in the series. So how do you handle that if you're the Lakers?
Yes, it'll be tough. All hands on deck when it comes to handling him. He's going to be animated. He's going to be agitated. He's going to be excited. You got to kind of look internal. You got to look inside and kind of focus on what you bought into to allow you to be a functioning member of this team. You got to go back to those principles.
All right, so then you have LeBron James at age 38, 20 years in the league. And we saw in that play-in game that they had to go extra time, and he got sloppy at the end of the game. Now, he did dish off for what should have been the game-winning shot at the end of regulation. But do you still believe that LeBron James, who has taken 10 different teams to the NBA Finals, still has enough gas left in the tank to do a similar thing with this Lakers team?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think this is one where he's going to have to dig down deep, but he's going to have to use his other players. He's going to have to use everybody. Everyone's going to have to be great for this team to get it done. They've shown flashes. They've been better down the stretch, but it's still not a powerhouse team. And so, to me, the big test will be how do these teams look when they square off? How does he get it going? Does he go early to try and set the table, or does he allow the other guys to kind of do work and then he kind of eases himself into the game? That's the big deal.
All right, well, here we go. A long, long run for these NBA playoffs, to say the least. But things get started this weekend. So far, one blowout in the books, another blowout going on right now. This is what happens when you have one seeds going against eights. We'll see which series actually turn out to be series in this postseason. Coming up on the other side with Bucky in the house and the draft less than 2 weeks away, we're going to dive into some of the divisions around the NFL. What are teams in the AFC West looking for? We'll break it down. This is Fox Sports Saturday.
NBA playoffs are here.
Oh, what a pass and finish!
And we're rolling with you straight to the finals. From each tip-off to the last buzzer, the road to the NBA championship starts here on Fox Sports Radio.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2023 Bank of America, N.A.
Wendy's $3 breakfast deal is a bacon or sausage egg croissant plus small seasoned potatoes for $3. It's the breakfast that don't miss. So if you did miss Wendy's breakfast, don't imagine. Fresh cracked eggs, sizzling sausage, crispy bacon, and block out those hot, buttery, flaky croissants. Croissants don't really make a sound, but if they did, for a breakfast that don't miss, Wendy's is that breakfast. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $3 breakfast deal.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Select a request $3 breakfast deal to obtain discount. Not valid for a la carte or combo orders.
There are some shows you don't want to miss.
Anyway, it's a big story.
And there are some shows you can't miss.
Yes!
This is Covino and Rich.
When baseball said they were going to extend drinking to the 8th inning, we're like, well, that just sounds like an obvious money grab. What happened to safety? But Matt Strahm has come out publicly from the Phillies to say that he agrees.
Yeah, he said the reason we stopped selling alcohol in the 7th inning before was to give the fans some time to sober up and drive home safe. Correct? So now, with the faster-paced game, the game is going to finish quicker. Why would we not move beer sales back to the 6th? Give fans even more time to sober up and drive home. Instead, we're going to the 8th inning. And I'll say this, I 100% agree. Baseball, you can't say, it's all about the families, put up the nets for safety, do this, it's all for the kids.
And
then
no,
worry,
no drinking after the 7th inning,
Yeah.
which, all the fans were like, man, come on. But then you realize, I guess they're right.
I mean, Danny G, you were saying off the air during our pre-show meeting that every time you go to a Dodgers game, Camino, when you're in the Bronx and you see the bleacher creatures, don't you think these people need to be told when to stop drinking? Like, if you didn't cut them off at the 7th, they would have one more, two more.
Yeah. We had that bozo on our show.
One of my favorite sayings someone told me years ago was that when you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else, right? Like, think about work, right? Hey, can you pick up some overtime? You're saying yes to the overtime work. No, you're saying no to time with your kids or your wife or your friends. By saying yes to drinking in the 8th inning now, you're saying no to safety. And I'm not a stick in the mud. I like to party.
Hey, this is Cheech. And this is Chong, and you're listening to Covino and Rich. So listen up.
To get the rest of what Covino and Rich said, podcast it by searching Covino and Rich. And as always, you can hear Covino and Rich weekdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. And now, the Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick.
Who more to blame for the Mavericks' struggles? Mark Cuban, Jason Kidd, Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving.
I would start with the owner because he made the trade. Plus, you go back to Jalen Brunson, and I know Mark has said, hey, we wanted to re-sign him, but his parents got involved in this. Then he ends up with the Knicks. But when you talk about a guy who would be perfect for Luka, it's Jalen Brunson because he is a great leader, floor leader, and he's done a wonderful job with the Knicks here. Kyrie doesn't fit. It's kind of like, wow, this is great, but is it great? And they haven't meshed. And before you say, well, how many games they played together? What have they played, 18 games together? So almost a fourth of the season? That's a large enough sample size.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan and the Danettes and you.
Weekdays, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. The Doug Gottlieb Show.
Is there a doctor here?
Listen.
Baseball's kind of changed dramatically. Time of game is down 30 minutes per game, and scoring is way up. Base stealing, way up. So I guess here's the question. And remember, the rules changes are that there's a pitching timer. You can't have shifts. Infielders can't stand on the grass in the outfield. And there's larger bases, which allows for it's easier to steal bases. The young, athletic Arizona Diamondbacks have 17 stolen bases already. The Dodgers only have 2. But imagine being the guy who's sitting there going, we're not built for this.
The Doug Gottlieb Show. Weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. We're for you. We're here for you.
I can't let this audience down.
That's why we're giving back
which makes Fox Sports Radio really fun.
Keep this in mind. We're giving you the best sports and entertainment on your platform.
We want to entertain you and inform you
every day. That's the truth.
Whether it's through your speakers, podcast, or social, we're giving back on Fox Sports Radio. FS1. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1.
From the back to the middle and around again, I'm gonna be there till the end, 100%.
Steve Harvin, Bucky Brooks, Fox Sports Saturday. We're coming to you live from the TireRack.com studios. So we are less than 2 weeks away from the NFL draft, and we have the, I'm going to say dominant, draft prognosticator in the world, Bucky Brooks. By the way, one thing about Bucky, and if you follow Bucky, and, well, most of you do, but if you don't, and you check out his mock drafts, they look very different than other mock drafts around the NFL. And I want to take advantage because there obviously we have listeners from everywhere anxious to hear what Bucky has to say about what their team is going to do in the upcoming NFL draft. Before we even get to any of that, though, obviously quarterbacks are always the focus. So I'm reading all these, odds makers and everything else, that it's a done deal that Bryce Young will be the number one overall pick of the Carolina Panthers. And Will Levis will be the third quarterback taken in this draft behind Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud. And then I'm looking at your latest mock draft 3.0. So this was a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And you have the Carolina Panthers selecting C.J. Stroud, number one, with Bryce Young going 2 to the Texans. And then I scan your first round, and I don't see the name Will Levis anywhere. So, again, Bucky has been a personnel guy. He's worked in front offices. He played the game. He's been a broadcaster, writer. I mean, you've covered it from every possible angle when it comes to the NFL draft. Why are you thinking differently than so many of the other so-called experts as we get ready for this NFL draft?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. When you're doing a mock draft, I'll give a disclaimer. It's an exercise. It's an exercise in just what teams could be thinking, what happens if one person goes off the grid, does something different than what all of us on the outside are expecting. When it comes to Will Levis directly, Will Levis and Anthony Richardson, I think we just have to be careful of falling in love with the hype and the possibilities of all these quarterbacks being like the class of 1983. When John Elway and Dan Marino and Jim Kelly and all those guys came and revolutionized the National Football League. I don't see these guys in that light. And so with Will Levis and Anthony Richardson, I think the danger is these are talented athletes, talented prospects, but they haven't been consistent or consistently great players throughout their college years. And so when you think about going up a level, the harder game, I'm just reluctant to and hesitant to just say, hey, man, these guys are going to be first-round talents. They can be franchise quarterbacks and those things. And I know we've seen, quarterbacks be pushed up, but a lot of times when those quarterbacks have been pushed up, it hasn't turned out well for them.
Here's the biggest challenge I see evaluating any position, but especially the quarterback position, because I'll go way back, as I often do on this show, to that 1998 draft when the Indianapolis Colts had the first pick and the Chargers moved up into the second pick, and it was about Peyton Manning versus Ryan Leaf. Now, we laugh about it now, but at the time, and Bobby Beathard, Hall of Famer, was then the general manager of the San Diego Chargers. And I remember conversations with Bobby trying to evaluate these two quarterbacks. And basically what he was saying was the consensus at the time. Peyton Manning essentially was a 4-year starter at Tennessee. So you knew exactly what you were getting with Peyton Manning. On the other hand, Ryan Leaf had started a couple years, came out of school early out of Washington State, led them to their first Rose Bowl in almost 70 years. And the argument was, what you see in Manning is as good as it's ever going to get. Ryan Leaf, on the other hand, has barely tapped his potential. So this argument about, okay, you're evaluating guys, you say, let's get back to Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud. Is it possible that you say, all right, we've seen Bryce Young. This is what you're going to get with Bryce Young. But with C.J. Stroud, there may be more meat on the bone. How hard is that to try to evaluate what a guy's potential is 5-10 years down the road?
I mean, it's always difficult to evaluate like potential because that's what it is. It's potential. It's unrealized production and performance. Whereas what you find is you're more likely to get what someone has already done because they can replicate that. What we're hoping on with a lot of these guys, and this is not just pertain to the quarterback, we're hoping that there's still some left and that we get that. But the thing is, it's never guaranteed. And so sometimes when you go too hard on the potential, it's unrealized. You're setting yourself up for failure. And so to me, it's a lot easier to look at what someone has done in their past and say that what they've done in the past, they're more likely to replicate it than, oh, I'm going to say that this guy can do it because they have the talent, but they've never demonstrated.
Well, again, you look at a Patrick Mahomes. He wasn't an All-American. Josh Allen, not All-Americans. They saw potential down the road, and it's flourished for the Chiefs and the Bills, respectively. All right, coming up on the other side, our first division we're going to focus in on is the AFC West. Which direction will they go in the NFL draft? This is Fox Sports Saturday.
We are Fox Sports.
Hey, it's Jonas Knox. Our partner, TireRack.com. You know, fast, free shipping, free road hazard protection, tire decision guide, mobile installation. They test tires. They've got their own test track where they push tires to the limit. Want a quiet tire with great traction and a comfortable ride? Use their results to make an informed choice. They sell only the best, like the full line of Firestone tires. Go to TireRack.com/sports to see for yourself. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering professional-grade industrial supplies, plus real-time product availability and access to experts ready to answer your toughest questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
FS1. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1. And now, here's a little something that you missed from the Ben Maller Show.
This thing is going to drag on and on. Here we go. To answer the question about my viewpoint on Odell Beckham, Beckham was enthusiastic, is the tone that I got from watching this online, the stream of it. Talked about his new team, but he was in character is the way I would describe it. After all, it's show business. You got to follow the script. You're a thespian. Talking points memo. I've been around long enough to see enough of these introductory news conferences where they all follow the same paint-by-numbers outline. Okay, so you get up at the dais and you say how excited you are for the opportunity. You're looking forward to the challenge with your new team. You have very high expectations and standards. Beckham talked about that. You have to reference the respect, the reverence for the Ravens' tradition of winning, and your team's a good team, and you expect to be in the playoffs, and you've got to come out and praise the owner for being so nice. Talk about how wonderful the coach is, and you're excited to play for the coach, and you butter up the fan base. Rinse, wash, and repeat. Rinse, wash, repeat. Odell Beckham did not sign with the Ravens because of any of that. He didn't sign with the Ravens because of Lamar Jackson. Don't be a rude. Don't be a mark. Don't be that guy that the carnies mark you because you're a sucker. OBJ picked Baltimore for one reason and one reason only. The Godfather.
To get the rest of what Big Ben said, podcast it by searching The Ben Maller Show. And as always, you can hear The Ben Maller Show weekdays from 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio. This is The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon.
I say the same thing for KD, LeBron, Zion Williamson. You just can't count on them. Is Kevin Durant really going to be healthy for an entire playoff run for the Suns? This is not a time in the NBA to say, yeah, I kind of like the old guard. It's really hard to say, oh, LeBron can. No, you see what happens when these teams have to play so many games in a row and you're relying on older players. It's just not there, either injury-wise or effectiveness. These guys have to sit out all the time. I played the first half. I got to sit out for 3 weeks now. I'm really tired from that first half. As much as I love the Suns, and I thought really their potential, everything clicks with them, but just the age factor and the fact that before the season started, I picked the Grizzlies. John Morant's going to take over games all by himself.
You're listening to Jason Smith with Mike Harmon. Weeknights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
I mean, come on.
Self-promoters.
I was already covering the NBA.
Always dropping knowledge.
They worked them over like a burger and fries.
And always odd.
I had to climb over barbed wire fences. I need baby oil.
It's Rob Parker.
Hear me out, Chris Broussard.
And Chris Broussard.
That's what they call me.
And they're the odd couple.
Odd couple.
You can hear them right here. Wow. Just listen. Weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. FS1.
Please me, baby.
To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1. And here's what you need to know.
Game 1 between the Hawks and the Celtics is officially underway, and it's been all Boston so far.
A chant of "Let's go Celtics." Tatum, quick catch and shoot. It's a 3 and it's good.
Hey, what do you do right now if you're Atlanta Hawks? What do you do now if you're Dominique Wilkins?
Celtics Radio Network on the call. They just got going in the third quarter, and Boston is up 74-44. Jason Tatum leading all scorers. He's got 21 points and 5 rebounds. Trae Young for the Atlanta Hawks has 12 points and 4 assists. In Major League Baseball, the Padres have taken the lead over the Brewers. 3-2 is the score, top of the third inning. The Blue Jays are beating the Rays 4-1. They're about to start the 7th inning. Orioles and White Sox still tied at 5 apiece, bottom of the 8th inning. And the Angels are beating the Red Sox 4-2, top of the 3rd inning. Mike Trout recorded his 300th career double-double. And the Yankees beat the Twins 6-1. I'm Monty Bolaños.
Fox Sports Saturday is on.
One time we gon' give it to you like this. Yeah, like this. Yeah, like this.
The plays, the sounds of the game, the interviews, the breaking news, the top stories. When it goes down, we'll cover it here. Your Fox Sports Saturday is right now.
Y'all gon' make me lose my mind.
Live from the TireRack.com studios of Fox Sports Radio. Here's Steve Hartman and 5-year NFL veteran Bucky Brooks.
Is there a mercy rule in the NBA playoffs? Can we call off this Celtics beatdown of the Hawks now? 74-44. Ugly. It's a layup drill. I mean, yikes. All right, here we are. NBA playoffs are underway, sort of. Much more interesting to us. And by the way, we're broadcasting live from the TireRack.com studios. TireRack.com, we're going to help get you there. An unmatched selection, fast-free shipping, free road hazard protection, over 10,000 recommended installers. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. Of much more interest to us, especially with one Mr. Bucky Brooks on this show, is the upcoming NFL draft, which is 12 days away. So, Bucky, pull back the curtain. You've worked for organizations when it comes to the big day, the NFL draft. What's going on right now with less than 2 weeks to go? Are you just on the phone with every team out there trying to get deals done? Are you going over the board over and over again? Every team has their own board at the upcoming draft. What's actually happening as we are less than 2 weeks away from the big start of this NFL draft?
Well, this week coming up is a big week. It's a big week because all the medicals and the background stuff is all done, meaning the NFL security reports are brought back. Everyone is sitting in there, and so you get all the dirt on everybody. You know exactly who's who and what's what, and so you can really cement the board. And so this is your last, the final arguments, right? If this was court, it's your opportunity to kind of argue for your players, stand on the table for your players, to make sure that your voice is heard when it comes to some of the players that you like, some of the guys that you think will ultimately be players and key contributors on your team. And then simultaneously, you're also going through scenarios. Well, if, the Panthers take Bryce Young here and then the Texans don't take a quarterback, what do we think that looks like? How would that impact us? Do we need to get up in range to get the player that we've designated as our guy? So you're throwing through a bunch of different exercises to try and get yourself ready for what could happen on Thursday night, because you want to be prepared. You want to be able to have a calm mind. You want to have rational thoughts in terms of, hey, everything that we've talked about, we've already gone through it. So now we feel confident about the move that we're making on draft night.
Yeah, and when you see teams move up in the draft, let's say like the Packers did with Jordan Love, right? You're like, well, why would they do that? Well, one, they really liked him and they wanted him, and they were fearful that if they waited, he'd be gone. And so, as you said, unless you are sitting there with the number 1 overall pick in the draft, that's the only secure spot in the draft. That's the only one. You don't have to worry about anybody else. You have a choice of every single player in the country. But from that point on, not only do you have to get your own board ready, you have to start